Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? Johnny Beane here. Welcome. New series, maybe? I don't know.
Oh,
Talking about the Police. If you guys like the Police, this is the place you want to be. Johnny Beane TV. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're live on Facebook. This is a podcast. I think you guys know the drill, but I think we're going to attract a lot of new people here, and that's one of the goals. So if you like the Police, if you like Sting's solo stuff, you like Stewart Copeland, you like Clark Kent, any of that stuff, let us know in the comments below. Okay,
you're a poet.
Go. Yes. Yeah. Okay. We're live. Okay, we're live on Facebook. There we go. All right. All right. All right, you guys. We're gonna hang out and talk police. We're gonna look at some memorabilia, have a great time. So let's do this. This is Johnny Beane TV.
ready?
Ready.
Hi, this is Andy Summers, and you're watching Johnny Beane TV.
Wow. Thank you, Andy Summers. Imagine that, Jay. We just had an intro by the man himself.
Unbelievable. Maybe we can answer some questions.
Yeah. You guys, welcome. I'm Johnny Beane. Ron Gunner is here. Looks like the cops are outside your window.
Yeah, that's well. You said it was about the police. So I didn't know which ones.
They found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Run for it, Gunner!
And Jay, synchronicity specialist.
Synchronicity specialist, man.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome, you guys. And hey, let me get this out of the way, you guys. Jay, I don't know if you even knew about this, but we're going to give away an Andy Summers guitar pick tonight.
Wow, that's terrific.
Somebody
you can't win it. You can't win it, Jay. You're on the show.
I can't win it? I didn't know about it. It's not biased, right?
Somebody in the live chat's going to win this tonight.
Okay.
So the way you win is basically you hang out with us, you subscribe to the channel, and you participate in the live chat. So at some point towards the end of the show, I don't know how long we're going to go tonight. This could be the 12-hour marathon, Jay. I don't know. But sometime towards the end of the show, the audience is gonna pick a number. It's gonna be a random number generator, and they're gonna get to win the Andy Summers guitar pick. So, but hey, let's get this started. Let's say hello to the top tier of channel members here on Johnny Beane YouTube channel. Channel membership. It's a great help. It's a great way to help support the channel and support these shows. Top tier are the executive producers, and they're currently Sherman Callahan, Michael B. Live, CC, Nova 9, Michael Smith, Music Therapy Lads, R. Habs, Werlag, Patty Dill, Fairfield Guitar Co., Majestic PB&J Cat, Guitarman 45, and Janice Lala, who I see in the chat. I hope you're feeling better, Janice.
We sent prayers to you last night, Janice.
Janice wasn't feeling well, so I saw that you were watching one of the shows yesterday. I did a couple shows because you started tweeting me stuff that I had said to you in the show. So thank you, Janice. I hope you're feeling better. So as you can see behind Ron, his lights are changing.
Has nothing to do with super chats, though. But
Yeah, but if you want to help change our lights, Super Chats is the way you can do that. And the lights in what we call the Guitar Noir. See, if you want to get our attention tonight, you can change these lights in real time in the chat with a Super Chat. See, there's some
pink
prizes.
Again.
There's prizes back here. Yeah, oh yeah, it's going to be pink. Lots of different things here, giveaways, whatever. But if you want to change those lights in real time, a Super Chat will do that, and then help support the channel and support these shows.
Someone please change those lights.
Yeah, somebody. Oh, they're getting pinker.
Neil says change the lights, damn it.
They're getting pinker. So we're live on Facebook. We're also we're live on Facebook. We got Facebook stars. You can help support the channel. We're also live on Twitch. If I can find the card for that. I've got so many cards. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to mention, we're looking to get to 12,000 YouTube subscribers. So subscribe to the channel on YouTube.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. You
Yeah.
guys can follow us. Follow us everywhere there is. Exclamation point link in the chat.
Particularly if there's going to be more police chats, because all those people who are tuning in for that topic, they need to know when there's going to be another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can bring
Could
the chief
be.
of police in from town. If that helps. He's a good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm. Bring him in. Yeah, that'd be cool.
He probably have
Yeah.
no idea who these guys are, though. You'd say Sting or Andy, and he Stu. They're not on the squad. They're not.
How
on
old's
the
the chief
department.
of police in your town? 12?
No. He's actually he's probably 64 now.
And he knows.
Mm-hmm. He knows.
Yeah, but I think he was a country guy,
Uh-huh.
like Hank Jr. And I don't think he ever listened to anything that was considered non-twangy guitar.
Well, there's that Twang album with Andy
Yeah.
on it on the track, right?
That's
True.
right.
On Sting.
Twang. That he covered what was the song? I
There's
have the
the-
CD.
There's, I mean,
Hank
know,
Marvin,
yeah,
right?
okay,
It was a Hank Marvin cover.
true, that's true. And
See,
there's
you guys?
I mean, there's also some lap steel on some Sting stuff, like on Mercury Falling, right? There was like I can't
Mm-hmm.
you can't stop crying.
I like Englishman in New York.
And that's kind of country-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had
You
some
would think
country influence on a couple of tunes.
you would think with him being chief of police, so he'd go to the store and see a record that says police and just buy it, not
Or,
knowing what
or
it is.
Fill Her Up, right? Fill Her Up is kind of country influence,
Mhm.
right?
Doesn't Sting have a solo song called Cowboy? Something
Oh, this
Cowboy?
cowboy song, but that's not really in a cowboy style, is it? It's kind of like a rock song, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, you guys, between Jay and I, we probably have like, I don't know, boxes. I literally dragged out boxes of stuff.
I had to bring
talk
some
about.
boxes down too to have at arm's length, depending on what what kinds of topics what rabbit holes we go down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here
Well-
to learn, people.
Like storage
Yeah.
boxes. It's kind of cool because collecting can be a very individual pursuit, right? It can be a very solo enterprise, but and then once you get the thing that you've been seeking so ravenously, you just sort of file something away as like nearly a two-dimensional object in space in a box, and you put it somewhere and never really look at it. But this gives us the excuse to embrace this activity with others and make it a social
But see, at
social function.
least you guys can put yours in boxes and hide it. Mine's out on the floor and hanging on the walls and in racks. You
Oh,
run out
that's
of room quick.
That's good. That's good.
Let me see here.
Someday I may do a purge.
Well, depending on what you've got, give me first right of refusal.
Guitars, amps.
Oh, guitars and amps. I thought you were talking about vinyl.
Oh, no.
If you have an orange amp, I might be interested. But that could be
I
Oh.
sold that already. I
that could
sold
be for
one.
another
Yeah.
time.
Man. But hey,
Right.
let's
Let's get to the point. Come on, guys.
yeah, let's do this.
People
Police.
tuned in for this. They're
Let's say hello to some people here. Scott is here. Police was my first cassette. Looking to learn. Right on, you guys in the chat.
There you
If
go.
you're joining us live, participate in the chat. And like I said, we're giving away an Andy Summers guitar pick tonight. Police guitar pick.
It's cool. It's a nice
so
color.
you have a chance to win this tonight. Yeah, this is one of the reunion ones.
Yeah. It's a nice-
0708. So participate in the chat. Ask us questions. Lisa is saying, I completely agree with that. I don't favor hiding items away. It's fun to share. It's a joyful exchange.
Yeah, we don't really get a lot of. Here's Scott. What's happening? I'm just running down the comments. What's happening, my man?
Yo, hey, Alan.
And yeah, I want to see if my buddy John from Pennsylvania is on yet. I can't tell, but I can see the chat here. It's very cool. Lisa, what's
Oh,
that?
right on.
Lisa's gonna bring Ozzy to us also.
Yeah. Well, I think Lisa has been pretty active on some of the Facebook posts, making some comments about, various obscure, the various obscure topics that I might bring up sometime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Some of you guys watching this, you guys probably aren't aware, but I'm an admin on an Andy Summers group on Facebook. And I didn't create the page. A friend of mine in Japan actually created the page years ago. They brought me on as an admin, I guess years ago.
So that's the Andy Summers fans page.
Andy Summers fans.
You're one of the admins.
Yes.
Yeah. I somehow very randomly also became an admin to one of the fan groups. I think it's called something like the Sting and Police fan group number 2 or something. I was added as one of like the 20 admins, which is, fine with me, but I didn't start it either.
I'm gonna put the link to the group that I'm admin of. I guess I'll put the link in the chat so you guys can join that group. I guess that's the link to it.
Alan says, I hope we talk about Hugh Padgham. There's that song, what is it called? Ooh La La Hugh or something like that. It was kind of like a impromptu B-side by Sting on one of his Ooh La La Hugh. Do you know that song?
No, I don't.
It's not something you'd probably listen to more than once or twice. I'm sure that they only listened to it in the moment when they created it and never looked back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when are we going to have the Johnny Beane fan page?
You can rip, man. I saw you playing at Guitar Center on some of those guitars. I was like, I didn't realize, like, I didn't realize how well you could play. It's like, wow, that's legit.
That's what I do, or that's what I did.
I didn't know that.
I was a touring musician for years.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this guy's badass.
Those videos, they've actually been taken off the Guitar Center.
Why?
Guitar Center
they don't like
pretty
why?
good. Yeah.
The ones recently where you're playing the new guitars and stuff, they've taken them down?
Oh no, I mean taken off like getting views.
Oh, they have taken off. Okay, yeah.
Guitar Center actually did feature me a couple times on their social media, like years ago.
Why wouldn't they? You're sitting in their place with the price tags swinging from their guitar.
I know.
Look at how awesome this sounds, guys! Right here.
I know. Some people are hating on me though for that too. They're like, "You work for Guitar Center? Boo!" And I'm like, "No, I don't.
No, you don't. You just love to go there. You got your.
I just like to go there, and there's nobody there." Behind the counter, there's nobody there to help you.
Starbucks.
So you can just do whatever you want.
And even if they're there, they can't help you. So,
yeah,
you should be getting kickbacks from both them and Starbucks. That's all.
Yeah. That's one of the goals of these channels.
But if you constantly promote them anyway, then why would they pay you?
Yeah, I know.
So why? Why buy the cow if you get the milk for free?
There's a catch no matter what, whatever you do. Yeah. So, but hey, you guys, again, in the chat, participate in the chat. If you have questions, like if you have a question for Jay, you can actually mention his name, and if you say hi, are you signed in? Yeah, if you say hi in the chat.
I can see the comments. I can see people like posting stuff.
Okay.
And there's private chat also, but I haven't toggled over to that.
No, you don't want that. That's just us. That's just between us.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they mention like your username on YouTube, it'll appear in orange, so you'll be able to see it much easier.
Okay.
So
yeah. So let's you mentioned to me that you have you have this little treasure trove of goodies, and I'm kind of interested in seeing.
I got tons of stuff, man.
Well,
I got.
Don't you have an Andy's guitar too?
A guitar? I have a guitar that he signed. Yeah.
No, I mean, didn't you buy one like the style he used?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you were going to show us before. That's what you're going to get up.
That's it right there.
They did custom shop replicas. Is that one of them?
No, I wish.
That thing's expensive.
I wish I had one of those. Andy, I saw him at a book reading in San Francisco. He has a book called One Train Later, and he did a reading, and after the event, he signed my guitar And then as we were walking out, he was telling me about how Fender was making a guitar. And I remember him telling me it was going to be very expensive. And I've yet to actually try one. I still haven't actually seen
tried
one
either.
either.
What I'm fascinated by is that it seems to perfectly match with every little nick and cut and anything that's worn away in the lack in the finish.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how they managed to make even the shapes of the worn article, the genuine article.
Well, they had the real one.
I know, but how do you make the pattern of the paint cutaway little area like the same shape and everything?
A lot of sandpaper.
They're master builders.
They have their ways.
They're master builders.
Didn't you have one, Johnny? You said the bridge went bad on you or something. It was an Andy Summer style guitar. You said the bridge went bad. I thought you said it was up in the rafters and you was going to get it down one day, and we never did get it.
No.
Okay.
Oh, the fan. Yeah, the Hamer. One of the Hamers. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
I've got some of the Hamer guitars. Yeah.
Skyprop says, "I wish I could have seen them live. Didn't appreciate them until later." Yeah, I only got to see them. I only got to see them on a reunion tour live. I never saw the Police in their actual, initial tour days. I saw them when they were announcing that they were getting back together, because I was in the press room of the Waldorf Astoria during the announcements when they did those 3 songs at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I was there. I had an invitation to be a press, I guess, writer. And, from what I recollect, they only actually broadcast 2 of the 3 songs because after the way I remember it, after the second song, in between the second and third song, Sting on mic said something like, "Are the drums loud enough for you?" And at that point, Stewart got so irate that he just bashed into the snare drum so hard during the second song that he actually broke the snare head on the second song, and the drum tech had to swap in a new snare during the song while he was playing the rest of the kit. It was like really crazy.
Wow.
And if I remember correctly, that's why like VH1 or whoever broadcast it, they only broadcast 2 songs. But
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
that thing where they said, when they
did Every Breath You Take. What else?
I can't remember the 3 songs they did. I have to imagine they did that on Roxanne and something else. But the middle song they just didn't broadcast because it was like this little hissy fit, like situation where Sting aggravated Stewart, and he just was like, they were just like back.
What else was new? I mean,
they couldn't pull it together just for these freaking 3 songs,
Eric, by the way, from Van Halen News Desk. Eric, great to see you, man. You got to jump on the channel at some point, Eric. Great to see you. The Booked on Rock podcast. Great to see you, man. Well, I mean, I was actually thinking about that today because, I told you, well, everybody knows, I do a Van Halen show, exclusively Van Halen, Tuesdays. And all people do is argue about Roth and Hagar, who's better. All they do is fight. And the thing is, the Police, their entire career was supposedly them fighting all the time.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, in the limousines, whatever. And they kept it together. And they were able to they became really the biggest band in the world by 1984. And still to this day, they're still out there. Sting's doing his stuff. Stewart's doing his stuff. Andy, I just saw Andy a couple months. Well, you were there, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
They're still active. They're still doing everything,
and they're still playing the Police catalog. I mean, every one of them in their own iterations. Sting integrates Police songs into his live set today. Andy is still playing his Police songs solo amongst the other songs he writes within his set.
That was great, man.
His arrangements for orchestra. There was a very concentrated time where so much came together, and they had this amazing output that everyone's still able to capitalize on now.
Yeah, it's just incredible. But see, they didn't implode or explode or whatever. They took it all the way to the top, as high as they could go, and then they stopped.
Right, right. But I've heard stories, though, for instance, where one of the reasons why on the Synchronicity album cover they all have their own stripes on the record cover is because they really weren't enjoying each other's company to the degree that they all had their own photo shoots in different locations at different times. So Stewart's was in a prop house, Andy's was somewhere else. Every one of their photo shoots happened individually, and then they brought all those photos together, Dwayne Michaels' photos, and they arranged them and all that stuff. And that's why, that's why they're not all like standing next to each other, and that, they just didn't, at that point, it was kind of a tense environment.
Well, that's still cool. But they were still able to make things work, become as big as they did. And they're still out there. They've still been active all those years.
So my question
still active.
My question actually is, would they have been able to come up with the music that they did had they, but had they not had that kind of tension and energy going on, between them back and forth? Like, was there any aspect of that brought out competitiveness, or in some way was like a
let's start showing stuff. We have so much stuff
program.
here.
Ghost tour program. Let me see it.
Have you seen this? Have you ever seen one of these?
I don't have that one actually, because I'm not a ghost. I don't have like everything ghost, but I mean, page through it. I want to see it.
Did you ghost this program? Dude, this is so cool. I don't know where I got this. I have no idea. Look at that. There awesome. You go. The Go-Go's, huge part of Police history. Yeah, I don't know where I got this.
That's great.
That's what you need to have Andy sign.
I know. Next time. Next time. Who was it? Who was telling me about this photo? Was it you? Somebody was telling
Rock Podcast says that that's their best album, but the problem is it's so hard to decide what their best album is.
Were you the one telling me about that photo there with Andy with the red Strat?
I don't know about that photo. It looks like
somebody on Facebook or something was telling me how that was trick photography, the way they did that.
Well, it does look like it's one guitar, maybe. Yeah.
But it does look like it's one guitar though, too. Yeah, I don't know. But this is very cool. The coolest part of this though is it has all their equipment, like for live. So
cool.
You can see. Like, let's see, where's...
to get an inside glimpse at stuff, That reminds me that somewhere in my boxes, oh, crap, I do actually have a Police tour, like a contract, like a tour contract that shows, like, it would be the equivalent of, like, when they talk about what color M&Ms they want or whatever. Somewhere I've got one, at least one of those hanging out.
I was trying to find, because I have a Synchronicity tour book as well.
Oh, I have those.
I picked up in Miami.
There's one that's more oriented like a rectangle.
It's like it's like really big. It's a really big one.
More oriented like a square, but they have similar content. I think
I don't know where it is though.
The layout is a little different.
Yeah.
Is that Johnny Beane? Yes, it is Johnny Beane over there. Dakota asks.
Hey, it is. Okay, let's get that out of the way.
Is that Johnny Beane?
You guys, I've got this clip, and it's really it's the inspiration for doing all these shows. All these shows that I do now. I was a guest on a show called Huffington Post Live. Well, actually, Andy Summers was the guest. He was putting out.
Play this? Oh my God, this is so funny.
I'll play this. Well, I play it all the time anyway, but this is the perfect time to play it. Andy Summers was a guest on Huffington Post Live. He was promoting a film that he made. This is about 10 years ago. And the company sent me a signed poster of it. I still have it. It's in the loft. I should have grabbed it. But anyway, this company contacted me via X, which is now called X. And they said, hey, do you want to come on and ask Andy Summers a question? We see that you're a huge fan. I'm like, sure. And so they bring me on. And it was kind of weird. And this is only part of the video. I need to upload the entire thing.
Oh yeah, I would love to see if there's more.
There is more of it, but here, let me play this. Okay, check this out.
Thank you, first of all, very much for joining us. But now we've got Johnny. Hello, Johnny.
Hi, how are you?
Is that Johnny Beane?
Yes.
Hey man, how are you?
Hey, good to see you, man. Been a while.
Are you still living in San Francisco?
Yep.
You guys know each other? You guys hang out?
I bet it. Yeah, it's funny.
What's your question, John? Thank you, first of all, very much for joining us. But now we've got.
That's amazing.
There you go. Yeah, it was kind of weird because he
It's-
didn't expect to see me, and he's like, "Is that John?" I'm like, "Yeah."
It's so funny because he sheepishly kind of like is admitting that he knows, but he doesn't know how it's going to be perceived that he is kind of like publicly sort of saying that, hey, like, you know, yeah, and he's like it's ambiguous, like as to what the nature of the relationship is, and so it's just a really, really funny exchange. I love it. It's so funny. When I saw it, I just laughed so much, but I love it. It's like so cool.
It's so weird. Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's
is
fun.
cool. Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah. So anyway, I started doing these shows after that, and then that was the last time I talked to Andy. Until a couple months ago.
Yeah.
At the Monterey show where you and I met.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You raced up from LA to go to this show.
I did. It was a multi-stop trip where the first stop was to see Andy Summers. I don't think I even ate anything that day. I didn't even have time to stop for food. I bought some like chocolates in the lobby so that I wouldn't be like, my stomach wouldn't be growling during the show. And then, wonderful show. And then, I saw a buddy crash at his house. And then the next day proceeded further north to get some autographs. But we'll talk about that later because those autographs are relevant to the police story.
Yeah. Well, do you want to? Because I think what you had told me.
Right. So the autographs that I initially got, actually, not only was I going to see Andy, and Johnny was instrumental in actually asking Andy to give me some autographs on a couple of 45s, but then also I was going further north to get an autograph on an old record of Stewart's, and I think you got one right there.
I have one right here.
Nice, and he signed it for you too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
right
I gotta
there.
show you. I gotta show you a picture that's across the room. Just because of that. Hold on a second. You're gonna love this.
Yeah. Like if you're like a major Stewart Copeland fan, you might know what this is.
Check this out.
Although if you're not, you'll have no idea what this album even is.
Check this out. This is
Oh, cool.
Stewart holding that same record that he just signed for me behind in the green room area of the House of Blues on Sunset when it was still around.
Nice.
So that was an interesting exchange too. But I could talk about that after we talk about yours.
What did he tell you about? Actually, I have. There's actually a video on my channel of him signing it. And,
Really?
And yeah, I
Did
think
he sign it? Did he sign it? I hate Sting, Stewart Copeland.
No. No, he didn't.
I once asked Andy, actually, during an Amoeba Records book signing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, who do I make it out to? I said, oh, make it out to Sting. And he's like, wait, what? he ultimately he wanted to know what my actual name was, but I thought it was really funny. He was
Stoke the fire.
who was that going to be? Who are you really giving it to? It was just really funny.
I can show the clip of him signing this if you want.
Yeah, I'd love to
It's-
see that. You have that
it's-
queued up? Oh, that's
It's on
amazing.
my channel. Yeah. Should
I
be
don't have
this right
video,
here.
never mind.
Oh, there I am.
Also at Amoeba.
This was at Amoeba in San Francisco. This
Nice.
was 2009, 2010.
You know her, right? The one getting.
And
come the
he was
light-
signing for his book.
Right. Strange thing happened. Strange things happen.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't see it.
Here, let's see. So I go up. And he talks about this too. Check it
this
out.
is cool because it looks like he's really, giving people time.
Yeah.
Hey,
There he is.
What up? Oh, Frokehaven. That was recorded just over the bay.
yeah,
No, I got it.
in our town.
I think he's still over there. Charles Austin, the fourth. Yeah.
That's who I actually met.
That's the guy that you met. Right.
We
Yeah.
met. I can tell you about that. It was great.
Oh, cool.
He's given those to you before.
There, I gave him some of my guitar picks.
Yeah, he
Are these different guitarists? Or they're all?
It's all him.
They're all you. You're not many guitarists. Thank you, man. Cool.
Yeah, he was cool. I mean, look at that. He's like signing stuff. He signed a drumstick.
That's the
Right
thing about
there.
Stewart. Stewart really is very gracious, and he
You'll
has
take that up
this
with him
really,
later.
Yeah.
he has really good understanding of like
Yeah.
role of the
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
versus
he's just really cool dude. I've met him a couple times that I can think of, but
Well, let me tell you that one story about this chance meeting where, so I was at the House of Blues. It was during a Vinx benefit. I don't know if you recall who Vinx is. He's a vocalist who does a lot of looping in his production, and Sting actually produced one of his records. But Vinx, the way that I heard it, his studio in Los Angeles was actually ransacked at one point, and there was a benefit concert, I believe, for Vinx. And so there were a whole bunch of people playing at the House of Blues to raise money so he could build back his studio. And one of them was like Michelle Schacht, and one of them Stewart. So I decided to go, and I came in early. No one was there yet. I went up to the like guard who stands in front of the green room door, and I said, hey, I wanted to know if I could maybe meet Stewart Copeland at some point. He said, well, come back right after the first set, because he's playing at the end of the first set into the before the second set. So this is the way I recall it. I could be wrong at this stage. It could have been in the beginning of the second set. I don't know. It was either one. So anyway, I did what the guy said, right? Like I got there way early, like 2 hours early, an hour and a half early. There was nobody there yet, so I actually was able to talk to the guy in front. And even though his whole job is to keep people like me from guys like that, for some reason, when I went back to him like an hour and a half or whatever later, after Stewart had actually performed on stage and was definitely back there, I came up and say, remember me? I was the guy who came up and asked maybe if I could meet Stewart. He left his post, went backstage, asked Stewart if some random person he didn't know, who didn't know anything to, could come back and get an autograph, emerged and said, yeah, Stewart said it's fine. Come on. Like, this is what I'm saying. Stewart is such a gracious guy. He really does seem to understand this like give and take. Like, if you're the celebrity, then you part of your kind of like role is that people are going to, you're the giver of talent and energy and creativity, and people are going to ask you for things, and
you can tell that he really appreciates his fans.
Yes.
Really,
so I went back there and with my Frokehaven, right? Frokehaven copy. He looked and he was like, "Oh, what do you have? Like maybe like a copy of Ghost of the Machine or something." And I pulled out Frokehaven. He's like, "Holy shit! You actually where'd you get that?
Yeah.
Did you actually pay money for that?"
We're the only two guys on the planet that have these, I think.
Yeah, so I can tell you a little.
Yeah.
I've gone really far down the rabbit hole with this album. So what I did was
That's Stewart right there on the right.
There were actually 3 dudes who were on this record. Charles Osman, who wrote the songs.
That's this guy in the car.
The Mercedes, right?
Stewart circled him for me. He's like, that's him.
And then there's also a guy who does vocals on just one track, and his name is Bailey. Bailey. He's Bailey Pegasus Pendergrass III. I mean, I don't know if these are real names, right? But that's how he's listed on the record. So check this out. You're not going to believe this when I show you this, but so this is the one that Stewart signed for me. Yeah, this is the one.
Where's yours, Ron?
And then
Police took it.
subsequent to that, I was able to get Bailey to sign this for me in San Francisco. I met him. And then the day that we met, the day after we met, after that Andy show at Golden State, I drove further north and I met Charles Ostman, and he signed it for me too, right there. So now I have all three of them signing this.
Oh, no way.
Now, beyond that, I found that there's variations, because some of them, like this copy, have this little sticker in the corner. This is recorded in Berkeley in like a stop sign shape. It's a sticker on top of the picture. But some of them have stickers that are different.
He's got you beat, Johnny.
And then some of them,
But the thing is, I bought this in Berkeley.
some of them have stickers that say different, recorded in Berkeley in different ways. This is one that Charles Ostman had already signed, but verified that this was his signature before I bought it. That said the Grand Zilch of Ozone, which is how he's written on the record cover. And then Stewart, it's a very atypical Stewart autograph, but he was reaching over to sign it for me at NAMM. And he kind of has this really sploogey, weird looking autograph there. It was just like a.
Looks like it says Sting, actually.
Well, it's a weird autograph.
I hate Sting is what it says.
I have it's a really weird
There's mine.
autograph from him, but I actually have a picture of him doing it, so it's like all good. But like you have that. Look at this. This is now my Frolkaven collection, dude.
Oh my gosh. Look at that.
So like that's like sickness right there.
That
You
is pretty
guys-
sick.
You guys do have the only copies.
Now
He has most of them, it looks like.
further, well, there weren't that many.
It said 150 written in that.
There were
I
not
saw
that many. So also,
I
was
think
able-
I actually I might have another one of these too. I'm thinking I own 2 of these.
I don't know if you remember back in the day, Stewart actually had an email address that was cryptone@AOL.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I sent him an email that said something about how I bought this record expecting a little more, and that I thought maybe it was kind of Trey mediocre. And he writes back in all caps, "What do you mean?" And then Trey mediocre. Then it's not, the rest of it's not all caps. It's like, okay, yes, it was a student thing. Sideburns were cool though. Everyone looked like a dork in those days. Like, when are you going to get a message directly back from like someone who you idolize like this? Like, this was before people, as like a strategy, were trying to interact with fans more on like whatever platforms. This was just an email between him and me in like the 90s. So that was really special,
Yeah, that's great.
I
I remember that website. That was a great site. I made a lot of friends. A lot of people, a lot of you guys think I'm this Van Halen fanatic, which I am, but also I love the Police. I love a lot of bands. But uh-oh. They're on the way.
very, very apropos.
So what was I saying? Anyway, I like a lot of different stuff, and I've made a lot of friends over the years in all these different groups. I've got the Van Halen friends, the Police friends. I'm a huge Duran Duran fan. I got Duran Duran friends. I run a Duran group as well.
I need to talk to you about Duran Duran as part of the topic of the Police.
We'll create a show.
No. It's part of this show. First, I want to acknowledge how Jamie H2011 says he loved Vinx, and Vinx is great. Off to the side here, I'm just kind of peeling through the side. But here's the Duran Duran and Police sort of merge in 2 ways.
Okay.
One, there is an autobiography by John. I think his name is John. Is it John Taylor, the bass player?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so John Taylor wrote an autobiography.
That came out about 10, 12 years ago.
Okay, so if you look at the autobiography, it explains that when he used to go to shows back in the day, I'm assuming in London, that he used to, but I could be wrong, but he used to, by just as habit, he used to bring a recorder with him and bootleg every show he went to, because he never knew who was the next big thing, right? Well, John Taylor apparently, and it's expressed in his book, actually bootlegged one of the very first Police songs, where they started out by, I think they started out by backing Cherry Vanilla, then did their own set. But he has a set because he set of the Police on a really, really early, like the 6th like ever Police concert or something like that. I'd have to look back at the
When they were a 4-piece,
at the,
or by the when they were a 3-piece.
I think it was actually when they were a 3-piece with Henri. Actually, I think it was like early. So with Henri Padovani, like so Sting apparently on mic was talking about how, you know, I mean, this could be totally wrong. I think he kind of badmouthed the band coming up, like, oh, I know you guys are all here, but the next band, you know, they suck or something like that. I don't know, but I think the way I recall, John Taylor's biography, he says that he actually, as an individual audience member, had a verbal interchange with Sting on stage and was like, yeah, screw you, they're great, or whatever it was he said back. And he transcribes from his bootleg what he and Sting exchanged verbally from that show. So that's one intersection of the Police and Sting, Police and Duran Duran that happened very, very early on. Now, I live in Los Angeles. I live like within walking distance of John Taylor. I could literally, it would take me less than 20 minutes to be in front of it. But what a creeper I would be.
Let's go.
Like I knock on his door.
Let's go. Let's go over there.
Hey, John Taylor. You don't
Where's
know
that bootleg you recorded the Police? We're talking about that. We'd like to hear that.
How crazy would this be?
I would love to hear that.
How crazy would this be? He's like, hi, John. Like, yeah, I know you're in that band Duran Duran and everything. And yeah, like Girls on Film, like a great song and everything. But I really would like to talk to you about that bootleg you made about the Police. You know what I mean? How do you like transition to that topic without making yourself like feel like an asshole? Like, hey, like I don't want to talk to. I like you. You're a great bassist. I acknowledge that. Like I love, like, you know.
But you're no Sting.
I'm not like a super huge fan. I don't even have like maybe one of your records, but I know you're cool and everybody loves you. But I don't really want to talk to you about anything that you've ever done. Or I just want to talk to you about some cassette that's in your closet and ask you, and what would I even be able to offer him for that? Like, he just no reason to give. So the other point of intersection is that he and Stewart Copeland actually played together one time at some sort of function that had something to do with like kids' education in some way. What's that now?
That's John Taylor looking at me.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
He's like, there's my cyber stalker.
He's like, wait, you know that guy Jay?
Yeah, right. If
so
you know
weird.
him, you gotta
Ron,
get
I
out
told
here.
you I have connections with almost anything, dude. It's crazy.
No. I mean,
crazy,
I love. Man. I don't know, like, you know, I mean, he has something of great historical value and significance to Police fans just sitting around at his house. Obviously, it's not. He doesn't have, you know, copyright to that stuff. But he also played. Yeah, right. He's like, what are you guys talking about before? So
he's like looking right at me. Look at that.
Oh my God, there he is.
Now, the reason why he's looking at me, I'll tell you why. Because I went through the line twice. So that's him, like, oh no, you know, that guy's back. That means it's time to go. That means time to go. That's probably what he's thinking there.
Yeah, he's like, I'm afraid. I don't know. This guy seems like he might be a weirdo.
That's what he's thinking. There's actually video of this. There's actually video of
this
this on my channel of walking through, and
So
that was at Rasputin's in Berkeley, actually.
Oh, got it.
2010, I think.
If you go onto YouTube, though, like, you can see some sort of video where Stewart and John are playing together. And I'd have to imagine, if they're friends or they're playing together, that maybe John just gave the bootleg to Stewart. So maybe Stewart has it now. Maybe they'll commercialize it.
Maybe.
Down the line.
Well, what about that book that he put out? Do you have that?
I do have that. It's really good. I mean, it's very.
I need that.
Reference. It's very referencey. It has some beautiful, beautiful pictures of some photographs and memorabilia. That's credited as being contributed by people that you and I both know and talk to on the Facebook groups. Very gracious of them to allow that stuff to be used.
Oh yeah.
And it's very referencey. Like, you can look at it and in a very granular manner, look through the entries and see what was happening when. And it's definitely an enjoyable thing, but it's really for the right audience. But I would recommend it.
My question though is because I don't have it, but I know of it, and I know of the audio that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that any of that audio possibly the stuff that John Taylor recorded?
No, those are demos on the audio.
Wow.
So the audio, firstly, I did a calculation on Facebook. You can go look. So just yesterday, actually, I was like, what did it take to get these demos out of Stewart? So he did 500 of the like mid-range book, like the ultimate edition or whatever, or the premium edition, and then like he did 500 of the one that came with a CD and 100 of the one that came with a CD and an original print. And he charged for the regular book, it was $55. For the book with the CD, it was $375. That means the CD cost $320. And then for the one with the CD and the poster, it was $750. So if we still attribute $320 to the CD, the balance to the poster, then he made 600 copies where the CD was attributed to $320 per person. Turns out that he, as proceeds from just the CD portion of the 600 that he made $192,000 on publishing those demos, which is, hey, take all the money you can. I want you to make millions on them. Give us more demos. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. With me, take all the money. But that's what it took to get him to release those demos. $200,000 basically.
Is it out of print? Is it still available to get those? Because I've never heard them.
You can't get the demos. Only came with the limited edition versions that they only made 600 of. After that, there's 50. There's just book copies that don't come with the CD.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that's available now. I think what it was is that they kind of like, the demos are very rough. Now, for people, diehards will enjoy them regardless of that. But I think there was a marketing strategy, if you ask my opinion, but that said, well, we're going to weed people out who are only diehards by making it a little more expensive than the average person can buy, so that the people who do buy it are the ones who would like it, not someone who would just casually encounter it anyway and think that it sucks. Like if you really, really wanted it and you wanted to pay $20 for the CD, then you're probably one of those people who are not going to be as critical of it as others. So that to me was the purpose of putting the price point really, really high, right?
I remember when they released that, and I remember thinking about it. I'm like, man, I'd really like this, but
really, I mean, it's really expensive. But
yeah.
But here, the interesting thing is that nobody has posted any of those on YouTube. Normally, people rip stuff and post it right away. You'd think anything rare you can sell one copy of, and the next day it's right back. It's right on you, either out of respect for Stewart, or out of fear, since their name is directly associated with it, because your name gets put in the back of the book, and who knows if they watermarked the CDs or not. There was only 600 of them. So if you ripped it and you gave it to other people, did they watermark it? I don't know. Maybe people are like, oh shit, I better not copy it because maybe they can trace it back to me. And people pay $320 for it. So they're like, oh, well, should I give this to everybody else for nothing? I just paid $320 for it. So,
it's possible. I mean, that's possible, but also the fans, the Police fans, from what I've seen, like the ones that I've met going back to the MySpace days, a lot of those people I met on MySpace, and we worked our way to Facebook, and now, we're on the Facebook groups and whatever. A lot of these fans, they're really nice people. I mean, the Police fans, they're really, they're nice. It's not like Van Halen fans fighting all day long about stuff. I had to block somebody today. Some lady went crazy on me. I had to bounce them from my group.
Wow.
But with Police fans, I can see, I mean, there's respect for Sting, Stewart, Andy, and I can see, people that bought that not posting it, or maybe not even knowing how. Maybe
well, you get a CD these days. You get an actual physical CD these days, and like, I venture to guess that some of the people who received it didn't even know how to freaking play it anymore, except in their car.
I bought a CD yesterday, actually, to play in my car.
Right, to play in your car. But how many people are like ripping and burning CDs these days?
No.
Like
I don't even have a CD burn
Do you have
here
any
at
blank
all.
CDs at home?
No.
There you go.
I
Well,
do, but
no.
they're like
I
10
do.
years old.
I do. I know. I don't even know if they would still write because they're like old.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lisa says the police. And I apologize, Lisa. I don't know if you actually go by Lisa Claire or only Lisa short form, but she says the police fan base are wonderful. That was so much kindness, especially in the
Yeah.
States, overwhelming. It really, I mean, you know, we have a specialized interest. I mean, I want to say it's not a specialized interest. These guys were the most popular band in the freaking world. Why would liking them be so specialized? Lisa's fine. Great. Okay. You know, so it's not really a specialized interest, but honing in on it as a, you know, as an obsession, a collectible obsession might be a kind of a singular. I was joking around with one of my new friends saying that, you know, these guys live rent free in my brain like daily. I think about the police all the time and collecting their stuff. Not
I mean
about
the band.
the band. Like
I don't know. They're gonna find me.
Now, granted, how do you
Paranoia.
sound effects like available to you at will? Like, granted, I don't know or care about their personal lives. I just like their music. It's not, you know, there's definitely a line. You know, I like, you know, like I say, I obsess about.
Sure.
I obsess about the music, not about the people. I don't have a lot of like posters and things like that. I just like music files or physical objects. And so, you know, we were talking about different things related to the police, and that's why I call myself a synchronicity specialist. But we can get into that.
Oh, dude, I'm glad you are. Let me see. I have. Wait, where is it? I have one of the Synchronicity, the black and white ones.
Yeah.
Which you probably have the rest of them.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I do.
Not every other copy that ever was made, but I have the other types. Yeah.
Man, where's mine? I don't know where mine is. It's not here.
I can show you some stuff.
There you go. Jump on it, Jay.
Well, let me explain. So the reason I'm calling myself the synchronicity specialist.
Here's this one. I don't know why. This is probably. Oh, this is just a regular. This is just like a regular one, I guess.
So do you want me to geek out for a second about synchronicity?
Sure.
Okay. Stop me at any time. So yes, I mean, awesome, man. That's one of my favorite. I mean, of course, one of my favorite records. I'm the synchronicity specialist. So the reason I'm saying synchronicity specialist is if people decided to go onto YouTube right now and type in synchronicity variations, then what they would find, or synchronicity LP variations or something like that. And I can put I can do that myself and put the links in the chat if you want. Just let me know. But what you'll find are two videos. One that says "Get Me Synchronicity," and one that says "Get Me Synchronicity Part 2." The reason they were called "Get Me Synchronicity" is because I was glomming off the title of a prior fan's newsletter called "Get Me the Police," like when people were flying photocopies around in the early days. And made a VHS video about that too. So Get Me Synchronicity chronicles all of the covers. So what there actually are in terms of US covers is that there are 37 varieties plus the Columbia Record Club variety that I consider a 38 because it has a pink stripe instead of a red. So that there were when it comes to color stripe variations with different photo orders, there were 30. Then there were 6 black and white. There's 1 gold, silver, bronze with photos on it. That's 37 total. And then there's the Columbia Record Club one that has a pink PMS color, Pantone color, instead of the red that makes 38. That's the US collection. Except that you can there's actually more than 38 out of 30. I have all those and I've shown them all on video number 1. But I've actually also shown a 39th out of a collection of 38 because there was, during the press check in Chicago, where they're running off the copies to see whether the color values look right on the page and all that stuff, they ran off some versions of the gold, silver, bronze without the black plate. So without the black plate means with no photos. So I was actually able to acquire through Record Mecca, which is kind of like a collector's marketplace, I was able to acquire from the owner of the guy who runs it, Jeff Gold, what I believe to actually be Jeff Aroff's copy that he had, which he was the head of A&M, and he had the press check versions were cut and folded and glued and turned into example copies of, and the gold, silver, bronze with no photos was given to upper level executives. There were said to be approximately 10, but they were said to be 10, but that's only approximation. And one of them ended up with, I believe, Jeff Aroff, and then Jeff, I believe, gave his collection to Jeff Gold to in an effort to for disposition through auction, and through Record Mecca, he sold that one to me. So I had this 39th copy that's just a printer's proof from the press check. And at that time, I thought that was all there was going to be for US copies, 39 out of 38. But there's more. So then later on, when I was talking to my buddy here in LA who designed the record for A&M,
cool.
I know the guy who actually came up with the concept, and he was saying that he also had one of those gold, silver, bronzes that he would be willing to sell me. And he had an extra black and white one laying around, and he'd sell me that too. And I was like, okay, well, it's always hard to find the black and white ones, so I might as well buy that one as a spare copy just for the hell of it, even though I had the other six anyway. So I bought those from him, as well as the concept art for Synchronicity, the actual cell vinyl where you can lift up the layers and see maybe I should get that later and show you that. But it's like a museum piece. It's not. So anyway, he sold me the second copy of gold, silver, bronze, and the black and white copy that he had. Well, when I brought it home, this black and white copy, and looked at it against the other six that anyone has ever been able to find since 1983, I noticed something unusual, which was that it was a seventh copy. It was a unique version that no one had ever seen before. So all of a sudden I have 40. Dang. I have 40 out of 38 copies. There's one copy of this black and white one that exists that anybody knows about, and right now I am the keeper of that copy. So I have the full collection, 40 out of 38. And then also there's a lot of like foreign variations, Venezuela gatefold, there's all kinds of stuff.
So when you go to, let's say, Amoeba, and you probably head straight to the Police vinyl section, when you see a couple synchronicities there, and they're older ones, not like newer ones, like, can you look at it and be like, oh, that's number 35, or oh, that's number 9?
Well, the funny thing funny you say that, because previously everyone was like, oh, do you have the one that has the blue stripe on top with Sting in the corner holding a mirror, or do you have the one with Andy on top with a butterfly?
Well, who's going to know that? Nobody's going to know that.
It was such a pain. It was such a monumental pain in the ass to figure out what you had, right? So what I did after I had all these 40 copies was I created a collector checklist. I created a numerical reference for people. And if you want, I don't know if I can share a file through the chat, but I actually have this up on my web server also. I can figure out what the address is to it. But I actually made a checklist so that you can see what the covers are. So, okay, you're posting the Synchronicity Variations Volume 1 video there. And I actually have a Volume 2 video that then shows that 40th copy that I subsequently found after I made that first video. And then I actually made a PDF checklist that you can zoom into. It's pretty large, so I can't really email it around, so people need to download it. It's probably like 25 megs or something, where you can zoom into the covers, and I put a number next to each one so that of the 40, you can say, oh, I still need number 16 and number 39 and number 8. Instead of having to say, do you have the one with the red stripe on top that's kind of like this, and it's got Stewart with a clock, or all that baloney, like monkey business, bananas.
But nobody's going to even know any of that. I mean,
actually, I'll tell you what. After I made that checklist, no, seriously. After I made that checklist and made it easier for people to find stuff, I found, and I could just be imagining things, but I found that it seems as though there are more people interested in looking, because now it's easier to figure out what you've got. Nobody had ever really sat down and done the work to figure out what actually exists. So, I put that together. I mean, that's not true. Raphael in Paris has a wonderful website called followtheleaders.fr. It's a French website, Follow the Leaders. And on it, he goes into detail about, different countries' releases and holy grail items and all this stuff. And you can see pictures of the gold, silver, bronze on there also. And it's a, wonderful, wonderful website for reference purposes to see some of the most obscure stuff that relates to the Police on Earth. He had most of the synchronicities listed, but not the two oddballs.
Oh.
You said Columbia House had their own copy?
Columbia Record Club, CRC, and in black writing on the back cover next to the track listings, had a version where they used a different color red. Everyone else has this nice, rich red, like the backdrop of this video that we're looking at. This, but the Columbia Record Club one has like a pink color. I can show it to you if you.
I think I still own Columbia Record Club, like $60. I've been a step ahead of them for 35 years. I don't.
Are they still after you? Are they still after you?
I've been dodging them for 35 years.
Yeah, right. Hey, Edwin, how's it going? So yeah. So let me actually see. I can tell you what the if you'd like to know, and if your listenership would like to know what the direct link is to get this fabled checklist that I've been talking about, and so that they can have. I will go onto my website. Right, I'm logging into my FTP server right now, and I will tell you what I'll just type it into the chat right now. It says, why does it say join the chat? I'm already in the chat, aren't I? I guess I'll go join.
No, you need to sign in.
Oh, if that's the case, since I don't want to be distracted by that, I'm going to go to the private chat area.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you the link, and then maybe you can post it to these folks. So I'm just going to, before I do that, just post it in and make sure it works, that I typed it right. Yeah, okay, it works. So there in the private chat, I just sent you the link to the PDF of the checklist for all 40 of the known US cover variations, even though that includes 2 that were only printer's proofs.
There you go, you guys.
So happy hunting. It's really kind of difficult to. It says opens in a new tab behind it, so it doesn't look like a link in the chat. I don't know if you want to repost it or edit that.
Yeah, I think it just
delete the opens in a new tab aspect of that URL if you want to get the checklist.
It says file not found, 404 error.
There you go.
Really?
Right there.
Yeah.
Because of the opens was after it.
Because the opens in a new tab was after it. You gotta
now if you click on that, it'll work.
Copy it after without the opens and new tab aspects after the PDF file name. So that's what I'm talking about right there. And happy hunting. Discogs, eBay and Discogs are frustrating in this regard because you have to ask people if the image that they've posted is actually the image of the one that they're selling, because they don't notice the difference. They don't notice that there are differences, right? They don't have any idea that there's a difference. They're like, oh, I'm going to sell Synchronicity.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows that.
Right.
It's only a few people that know how many of those exist.
They grab some stock image from somewhere and use that out of laziness to post their thing. And then you buy it and you get it and you're like, what the hell is this? So it's kind of, that also makes an additional challenge, right?
Yeah, I know.
But it's gratifying. I mean, I guess you'd have to believe it.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, I was excited. I have one of the black and white ones. It's not here.
I'll show you. I'll grab one. I have an extra one off to the side. Let me get.
Okay. Yeah. See, if you guys have never seen this, you guys know the Synchronicity colors, but there are black and white ones out there. Yeah.
So this is one that I just got off of, I think Discogs or eBay or something, just as an extra copy. So I have all 7 black and whites, but I have 2 copies of this one now for trading purposes, because you never know when you're going to need something.
Yeah. Well, I haven't showed all my stuff yet.
No, you only showed one thing, man. One tour program. Break it up.
We're waiting for Ron to show his.
Let me see it.
Mine's flashing in the background.
I'll show you mine.
Okay, let me just. This is something I tried to put this on earlier, but it's been 20 years since I've worn
Oh wow, that's cool. That's
this. So, but
yeah, that might
this
be
is an actual one.
really.
I didn't. I mean, I didn't get it from the concert. I must have bought it or somebody gave it to me 20 years ago. But I used to wear this live on stage when I used to play.
Oh my gosh, that's great, man.
Look at that.
That's great. I don't know if you saw, but I'm wearing a Synchronicity shirt today.
Yeah, look at that. That's cool. I've never seen that one.
I think this might have been a reunion tour one, but you know, I don't even remember where I picked this up. Probably at like a thrift store or something. I mean, what a find is that when you walk into like a Goodwill and you see a Police shirt for like $7 that's your size.
Yeah.
Music Stream says Sting is an a-hole. Andy Summers doesn't get a penny for every breath you take. Most iconic guitar riff in history. Sting gets the money. So that was an interesting topic that I actually embarked on a conversation about the other day with somebody, one of my friends. So the way, yeah, I mean, Sting wrote the underlying composition so that he owns the publishing, right? And Andy came in and played the guitar part on that. But he, you know, and he definitely added a stylistic element to that. But from a strictly songwriting perspective, like not even drummers don't normally get writing credit for beats. I mean, look at what Steve Gadd's done for music. I mean, he definitely would seem like, some bands are very egalitarian about the way that they divide up songwriting credit, right? But some bands actually follow who actually wrote this. So that's a Japanese one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have this one. It's like sideways. Stuff is like that way. Yeah.
I can't tell you if I have it or not because there's actually two slightly different variations of that.
I just found it in my box.
That's badass. There are two variations of that. Like there's one that I think is like louder than the other and it has a different catalog number. But yeah, that's really cool. That's actually pretty valuable. If you go onto if you try,
I paid $9.
and you got a huge bargain for that, I'm telling you.
Check this out. Yeah, let me just go ahead and I'll just show you guys stuff that I have.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Okay. At one of the Andy Summers trio shows that I went to back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
I handed him like a whole stack of CD covers and he just signed.
Nice. That's so nice.
Okay. I'll show you a couple of them. Actually, I remember showing this to some nerd outside and he went crazy. He's like, Johnny, well, he didn't know me. I mean, he's like, Johnny, well, he's like, hey, I can't believe Andy signed a bootleg for you.
That's pretty funny, actually. That really is funny that he would do that.
It's called On Stage.
Well, that's not the first thing. That's not the first bootleg one of these guys has ever signed for you.
But so he signed that, and then he signed this too. And this, you'll know what this is. This is pretty cool. I actually listened to the CD not that long ago.
Oh, I love that CD. Dantalion's Chariot. Actually, this might be interesting to your fans. There's a song called Recapture the Thrill of Yesterday.
That's him right there.
Oh, yeah. So let me show you this. Let me see if I can find it. Off to the side of my collection.
There he is playing an SG.
So this actually was one of the 245s.
Andy Summers.
You
what year was this?
Look at
69.
This.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, you helped me get this 45 signed by Andy at the show recently.
I took those down to him.
You took these backstage,
and he looked at them, and then the friend that he was with. Did I tell you the story?
I don't know what he said about it. I mean, he seemed.
I went back to talk with him, and he was already talking to somebody, and the guy that he was talking to, it ends up as my neighbor. The guy that he was talking to lives 5 minutes from me. and so, yeah, I took those down, and yeah, there's Andy right there. And he signed those.
Yeah.
This is basically that's an earlier band
So
that he
not
was
only
in
well,
1969.
well, honestly, not only was it an earlier band, it's actually a really, really enjoyable. Like sometimes you delve into collecting as just like a pursuit to grab like unusual things and store them as a hoarder kind of thing, to be honest. But other times there's actually really enjoyable music to be found. And Dan Tallian's Chariot is a really good band. Like independent of the Police, I think Dan Tallian's Chariot is a great band. I love listening to them. In fact, Johnny had me on the show in another capacity, I would say about a month and a half ago or a month ago, talking about, myself as a musician.
About your record.
And yeah, my record. And I actually covered one of the songs off of Dan Tallian's Chariot Rising called Recapture the Thrill of Yesterday. And you can find my solo rendition of that on YouTube just to listen to it for the heck of it. I actually sent my rendition to Zoot Money through a mutual acquaintance, and Zoot heard it and gave me, I don't know.
He was the band leader. That's him right there.
Yeah. Zoot has this really raspy, or I don't know even what you describe. It's really, what do you call it? Raspy? What do you call his voice? Scratchy. Deep and scratchy. Got a lot of like artifacts in his voice or something. Madmen Running Through the Fields. A favorite of mine, Lisa says. It's absolutely wonderful song. And Recapture the Thrill of Yesterday, or is it Sun Came Bursting Through My Cloud? Must be the B-sides of that. But yeah, that's a wonderful song. It's it's something that really is thought, it's sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Associated with a sort of like psych rock era. Andy Summers should do a project with Edgar Winter. I'm not sure if I know who that is. There's another interpretation.
Call it Summer Winter.
Oh, okay. He does like those plays on words, right? Like the Circus Zero, Circus Hero. That was funny.
Yeah. You know how that happened? The Circus Zero?
Oh, wait. Something
Circus
about
Hero?
a radio, like a radio guy? Tell me.
A radio DJ thought that was the name of the... he thought the band was called Circus Hero. I think
you're right. It's like someone mistook the whole thing. Lisa's getting back into the Every Breath You Take, because we didn't really fully talk about the backing, the thing about the payments for that "I'll Be Missing You" thing with Sting. So
thank you, Michael B.
It's totally true that Sandy did that guitar sample that's used on the Puff Daddy version, "I'll Be Missing You," and Sting gets the money from it, even though you only used the Andy part. But
Isn't Sting in the video?
He is in the video. I think maybe
they did Roxanne too.
Maybe
they also did Roxanne. I think Sting is in the video for that.
But the thing about it really is that this. Like, look, Sting wrote the underlying composition. So, so the Police recorded the song, and the mechanicals, the actual recorded song, is going to produce proceeds for the band if the actual song, if the composition as encapsulated in the recording is used for anything. The whole band is going to benefit, right? The record label and the band. But the underlying composition is Sting's. So if anyone uses any aspect of the composition for something, or a derivative work that relates to the publishing, then I'm imagining that aspect goes to Sting. Now, I don't know if a sample, like a guitar aspect from the whole song, is divvied up in any way between the musicians, and it sounds like it's not. Maybe that wasn't a provision in the earlier contracts. Maybe no one had perceived that anyone would take a portion of the song and use it. But I think that the way that it fell out is just an extreme example of like the law of unintended consequences or something. Like Sting takes the money, but it's probably not by intention. It just happened to fall out that way, and he probably never really did anything to stop that from happening. That's my perception of it.
Yeah, that I don't know.
I don't think that Sting is intentionally an asshole for not sharing the money. I think that's just probably just the way it landed. And and Andy, when he recorded it, didn't vie for writing credit, because he didn't know what a big hit it was going to be, and he didn't write the song, and if he was going to argue about it, he should have done that in the 80s.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's I mean, I don't know. I think that, forever it will be a point of contention, right? But I don't know that it really has any basis in the truest sense of the way that credit is divvied. But what do I know? I'm not.
And that's why I like the way the Doors did it. They divided everything in fourths. No matter who,
right. I mean,
what, they all split them.
And other bands too. Like I think Guns N' Roses did the same thing. It really just depends, because if you're a band like the Police, and you have one primary songwriter where all the pressure is falling on his shoulders, and his songs are far and away superior to what the other guys are bringing in, and they're kind of like great technicians and great stylists of their craft, but they don't actually write the music, then from a songwriting perspective, they're riding his wave. And, why should he give them songwriting credit?
But it's Andy's guitar that really makes that song.
No, of course it does. Of course it does.
If it didn't have that guitar, it wouldn't be the same. I mean, it would be, but it wouldn't be. That riff totally made that. I mean, obviously Puff Daddy, that's what they used.
Of course, the riff, but he's following along with the progression that Sting provided. It's not like he wrote the chord progression. He embellished it with the way that he decided to deliver it. And so that is something that people have to remember. Like the chords were set, and Andy added a couple of notes and decided to, he delivered those chords in a very interesting manner. And, instead of just straight chord version, he did that. What would you call it? An arpeggiated with some adds, or how do you articulate?
Arpeggios.
His arpeggios with a couple of adds. Yeah. So he did the arpeggios with a couple of those adds in there, and it makes it like beautiful and drippingly gorgeous and awesome. But Sting brought the chords to the table. They were already there. Andy's not going to say, "Oh, I came up with a progression." No. So how do you argue that? Yeah, Andy was the guy who, just the same way, Stewart played the drums, but do you give him songwriting credit? I mean, the drums are awesome. Well,
it was his band.
Of course it was, yes, but
he started the band. It was his band.
And that whole attitude is, I think, exactly what probably brought the Police down.
People don't know that.
Because it was all of their bands as soon as they decided to get together. As soon as they kind of come together as a band, it no longer becomes one person's band, in my opinion. Stewart had the idea for the band, but nobody should be thinking it's their band when everyone's writing the stuff, everyone's performing, everyone's touring, everyone's interviewing, everyone's doing all that stuff. It's not anyone's band anymore. You can't in my opinion, you can't latch onto the notion that, I had the idea first, or this was my idea. Everyone joined. You joined something in solidarity. You don't retain ownership because you had the idea. You try to get other people on.
Do you have these?
Yes. Let me show you that. No, I've got something to talk about here.
Look at that.
I got something to talk about. Like I said, I brought my little box of crap.
I've got a bunch of boxes of crap here.
Yep. I hear you, man. I hear you. So check this one out.
Illegal records.
I'm going to show you a couple.
That's before Andy Summers.
Okay, so this is a couple of distinctions here. So what you're holding up, tell me this. Take that one out of the sleeve for a second. And in your fingers, touch the paper like this. Just the sleeve. Is it matte finish or glossy?
It's matte.
Yeah. See, I have these two. And a couple of the interesting attributes, and the Police Wiki really goes into detail about what makes some of these different, is actually like the label, the illegal label font, and all these kinds of crazy things. But yeah, so you have that's like the more straight version, the kind of like the typed version, as compared with, so that one's like this version, right? We have the same thing there. But look at this one here. It's more like a weird.
It's like bigger.
Stencil. It's like a weird stencil, right?
It's like stenciled.
Yeah, it's weird. So that's the reason why I bought it, because it's one of the many variations of this one. Now I I don't know for sure, but I believe in the production run of these, that's one of the very earliest ones of them was a variety. If I can get it out of the sleeve here, it's very tucked in. You can't really tell on screen. Maybe if I put it in the light, this is not matte. This version,
Yeah.
is one of the few that's actually glossy, and there are not that many of these out there. Mine is damaged with the eye in police, and someone marketed in to fix it. I mean, maybe there's a price tag on it or something at some point. You can tell in the.
I think I had 2 of them.
Look, John is going through his Taylor Swift records.
Or is it your Eddie Murphy record and your Lindsay Lohan record?
No, actually, I do have Taylor Swift, but that's the CD I bought in the car.
Do you know that the Lindsay Lohan record actually has Vinnie Colaiuta on it? I mean,
No.
that's a I can talk about that because of Sting. So actually, after that initial black and white pressing, right? Then they put out this one.
Yeah.
This one is the most common one, right?
Yeah, I have one of those. So I have one of those, and then I think I have another one of the black and white ones, but I can't. They must be somewhere else.
After the green and black checkered one, right? Then they put out this one.
Yeah.
It's blue and purple one.
I've got one of those. I don't know where it is though.
And then for the fan club, like several years later, then they put out this one in very limited quantity.
Oh, cool.
So that's one that's hard to find. I mean,
so they've always been into different covers.
This one is not. I mean, it's
different. Well, different pressings.
I would say this one's rare-ish. I mean, you can find it. It's just going to cost a bit, you know. And then there was some jerk on eBay who was making replicas of this variety and saying that, and claiming in the notes that they were replicas, but making no distinction on the actual printing, not like saying facsimile, like not saying anything on it. So someone buys it knowing it's a replica, but then if they ever transfer it, there's no distinguishing aspect of it that makes it. I don't know. It was very dodgy to me. So I think it's kind of BS.
Wow. Dang it.
With the Sting and the royalties, the Commodores went through the same thing with Lionel Richie.
So Lisa said you can't copyright a chord progression, but you can copyright. I'm not really sure how that works or not. I can't really comment on that, but I would imagine that the actual song
you can there's copyright of there's writing, and then there's performance.
Right.
So performing a guitar riff, that's a performance, but if it depends.
So if Nike decided to license Every Breath You Take, then that would be to the benefit of all the band members because they would be using the actual mechanical that embodied the composition, their recording. It wasn't a cover by somebody else. It was their actual recording. If they used the original, everyone would benefit. The label would benefit. They would benefit. But if someone is just covering something using the underlying composition, whether it's their version, or in this case, I guess, if it's some kind of sampling, then they're relying on the publishing and not relying on the overall. I don't know. We don't need to talk about this. Maybe it's boring, but
we're boring people enough with this show in general.
I know, all right? We're totally fucking nerds.
Wait, I gotta show you some more stuff. Okay, I'll just hold stuff up and you can look and be like, oh yeah, I've got 20 of those. Okay, so this is obviously a Japanese version.
Yeah, let me see about that.
Da.
Let me see about that. If I can match you there with that, yeah.
Turning into a contest.
I have a bunch of Japanese ones. I just don't know if I filed them away correctly. There's only one Japanese one that I think I'm missing. But
probably that one right there you just held up.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'll see.
No, it was a different one.
Oh, let me see.
Show him, John, that last one you just held up with the cameras.
Well, it might be a different song.
Oh, I have that one signed by Stewart, actually.
Oh, it is Dee Doo Da Da. And then look at this one. You have this one?
That's the other side, dude.
Oh, it is?
You
Oh.
can't trick me. You've got two copies of the same thing. Don't.
No.
What? Let me see.
No, one's in Japanese, one's in Spanish.
No, I know, but isn't that the same?
Oh, it's the same thing. Oh,
it's a different side of the same.
I have
picture.
two of them. Okay.
You have two of them. Like, don't tell. Like,
I always thought it was two different ones. It's the same.
no, flip the other one over, flip them over so you can see two next to each other.
It's the
Yeah, there
same.
you go.
Okay, it's the same.
You're trying to pull a fast one on me. You think I'm?
No, I didn't know.
Think I'm a newbie?
I didn't know.
Think I don't?
Do you have these though, man?
Let me see.
You guys see, it's been an hour and a half, so we're gonna jump all over the place. Okay, you guys. Do you have these? Do you have these?
Oh, actually, I do have the. Well, you know what? I don't have Rich in a Ditch yet, but it's on the way. I just bought it. Let's flip through. I have that one.
Ones? You got
Next
that?
one. That's the one that I'm waiting for. I don't have Rich in the Ditch. It's on the way. It's in the mail. I literally just bought that from ELI because I just never found it. Now check this out, though.
This is Stewart Copeland's solo project from before the Police.
Check this out.
Actually,
though,
before,
bro.
during the early years.
So here's something that you have this. We both have this. It's on green vinyl, but this is something you don't have. This is a version that has pattern vinyl because they must have been changing the fucking black to green at the time or something. You can like literally see that there's some it's like a rainbow.
Well, let me look. Which one is it? Calypso?
This is Calypso, and it's got like a pattern in there.
Oh yeah, mine's just green.
Of course, this is this is the one that they made like right when they were switching stuff out at the plant or something. Let me show you. Like I'll put.
Well, hang on. I can make mine really rare.
Jay's has gangrene on it.
Look at that. Look at that. That's cool, right? Woo!
That's gangrene when that one.
This one is kind of relatively unique, I would imagine.
That's cool.
Cool,
Let
man.
me see. Oh my gosh.
All kinds of baloney.
I actually have a bunch. I have a bunch of these. Like these
All right.
Clark Kents. Like every time I would find them at the store, I'd buy them. So I got like tons of
Yeah,
them.
they're
apparently.
cool. They're cool. So yeah, man, like Clark Kent. Like check this out. Of course, we know that there was the 10-inch die cut version, this one, and then that has the A&M label on it, and then there's the 10-inch with the die cut hanging out with a little promo sleeve thing on, promo sticker. Then there's the 10-inch and a 12-inch sleeve that has
I've got a
gray fill-in, but in
look
the
at this.
case.
It's like we're like brothers apparently. I think we were separated at birth because we have all these things.
And then there's the one that has the K, the K's on the thing. Then this one is an error. It has an uncut K where it's just black entirely on the side.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Winning.
And then, of course, there's this one that's, I don't know. There must be something about the sleeve that makes this one different why I have this one. Then there's the Japanese one that says Clark Kent. And I actually, it says Clark Kent because at that point,
Oh, no way.
At that point, what happened was I think who has Clark Kent and Superman? Is that Marvel? Look, whatever the comic book company was, I think Stewart
DC. I think it was DC Comics.
Is it DC? Whatever it was, like I think that at that time they were getting on Stewart's ass because of it, and he had to change it for the Japanese release to Clark Kent. When I was at Amoeba, you got your signature from him at Amoeba. Look what he signed for me. He signed it as Clark Kent, man. Clark Kent, Stewart Copeland. Can't imagine there's too many Clark Kent signatures out there.
Oh, that's amazing.
So-
And then for the last record store day, I picked up the newest.
Yeah, me too. Check
You got
this
the new
yeah.
one, the newest release. I never opened it.
You
I mean, I don't have a
honestly,
player.
I did open it because I didn't want to be precious about it. I wanted to see what the hell was going on, if it sounded. And honestly, I think that the old records sound better than this one.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't like not get it because I have all the other ones, and so do you. Like, now check this out though.
Do you know about this photo?
Yeah, it's on the back of the cover.
Where it was taken?
I don't know that.
Now, this is what I heard. I don't know if it's true. Somebody can let us know. But I heard, maybe it was made up, but I heard they took this photo on the set of The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. No,
He's
it
running
makes
through
so
the Hoth
freaking
tunnel.
sense.
Yeah.
It looks like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's the rumor.
You know what? If that's actually true, then that would give new significance for like all Star Wars fans. Everyone in Star Wars would be buying this record just for the photo.
Well, I even have some Star Wars ones too.
Well, is Stewart on there?
No, but
He did do that one.
he did the theme for droids.
Droids. Well, before we get on to droids, look at these. Since you're talking about Clark Kent and how interested
I think
you
we
are
are related.
What do you think these are?
Test pressings.
You got that right, brother.
See, we're brothers.
Clark Kent's test pressings.
Oh my gosh.
This is the 10-inch and one of the 45s. This is the test pressing for, I don't know which one. I've never freaking listened to it. It's just.
Speaking of that, I have
when I was on last time, people said that they thought we looked like brothers, actually, didn't they? Maybe because of the glasses.
Speaking of stuff, I've never heard.
B9 says I look like Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Oh
maybe
my God.
He took that photo. And
How about this?
portrait
How
of
about this,
solitude.
you guys? How about this?
Hey, it's Superman. you were in the Fortress of
Keep your
Solitude.
clothes on. No, speaking of stuff that's never been heard, at least by me, because I don't have a player.
Yeah.
I bought this years ago, and I can't even listen. I've never heard it.
What is it?
I've never heard it.
Oh, it's like the interview.
It's an interview of Andy Summers and Robert Fripp talking
Strange things
about Bewitched, their solo album.
To a man on the road.
I've never heard this.
Yeah, no, I think, if I have that digitally, I can send it to you so you can hear it. I'm not sure if I do or not. Has anyone heard about Police in Canada bootleg? I'm not sure if I have that one or not. I'm not sure about that one. Do you have that one? Not sure if I have that one.
Called Police in Canada?
In Canada. I'm not sure.
Like an album or a CD?
It's probably a CD.
I might have it or have had it at some point. My iPod is I mean, you guys know me. If you anything Van Halen, like rare stuff, anything Police, live, rare, my iPod is like the place for all that. What else is here? You got that one too?
The 10-inch?
The small one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. I mean, what a great record. I mean, as much as I call myself the synchronicity specialist, just based on my collection, I think if someone asked me what my favorite album was, I'd be really hard pressed, and I think Reggatta might be it.
There's a poster in it. Did
Don't
you know
tell
that?
anybody, but yeah.
You ever see this?
I mean, it's got to be in mine. I don't know if if I can.
And look, he's Clark Kent. He's wearing the That's a pretty cool poster.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's wearing the Clark Kent shirt right there.
So someone also asked what the association was between Stewart and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So basically, it looks like he contributed a song to the soundtrack when I look up Discogs. He put the song Strange Things Happen on it, apparently, it looks like. But beyond that, I wouldn't really know. Just kind of peeling through the side. So, Yeah, man.
Do you have this? Let me ask you about this.
What do you got there?
It's not. It's a CDR. It's a CDR. It's not like an actual like CD press CD
BBC?
of it.
BBC?
It's the lost BBC studio tapes. Do you know of this?
Somewhere out there. I've got that somewhere, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like a there's like a really cool version.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a couple. There's a couple few really cool versions of "Message in a Bottle" where they actually multi-track the songs, like not just the record version. They would multi-track the songs like for radio shows, where Andy does the second guitar part.
Oh,
That
really?
you never hear. Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I that's a really enjoyable record.
One of those is, I think
CD.
one of those is on this one. Yeah.
Really enjoyable. I mean, really nice quality and very listenable. There's a lot of stuff that's not listenable when you collect, but that's very listenable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about? Do you know the bootleg? I might have asked you this. There's some live bootleg saying supposedly it's the Police rehearsing at Stewart's house.
Yeah, that turned out to be a fake. That's not actually real. It's called Jams at Stewart's house, but it's not. It's something that circulated for quite a long time, and people thought was them, but it was debunked. It's not really them.
Okay, good. Because I have it.
It was instrumental.
I have it, and I've always wondered because I'm like, that drummer doesn't sound that good.
No, it's not. You can put that in the discard pile. You can purge your hard drive of that one. It's fake. Matt says "Murder by Numbers" is the best song. Have you heard the "Murder by Numbers" version where Sting is joining Frank Zappa's band live to sing that? It's very enjoyable. You should go onto YouTube and check that out as well. Frank Zappa, "Murder by Numbers," Sting.
I've never heard that one.
You haven't? Oh, it's great. What is that thing? Is that like a notebook or something? What is that?
Police Live in Rio welcome guide. This is like the when the Police went to Rio on the reunion tour. This is basically something that'd be handed out to them, and it would tell them like restaurants.
Oh, I've never seen that.
All the restaurants in the
area.
What
does it say on the cover?
Cool.
It says the Police Live in Rio.
And underneath that, like, is it headed with anything?
It's a welcome guide.
Yeah, so like maybe we ought to do a trade.
So it says
no, I've never seen that. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Yeah,
I've had it for years.
YouTube for real,
Here's
check out the Zappa "Murder by Numbers" with Sting. It's really awesome. So Zappa explains that he ran into Sting backstage or something in the dressing room, and then invited him on stage during their show. And then Sting just comes up and does this really. The band does a killer. I mean, Zappa's band was always amazing, and they do this really, really killer version of "Murder by Numbers." Very funny, actually, in the intro too.
How many of those welcome guides do you have, Johnny?
I just have one.
Soon to be 0, because he's going to give it to me just because I'm a nice guy.
I just have
one.
one.
Yeah, that's cool. Is it signed? Mine's signed too.
Yeah. This for years. This has like been my favorite album of his.
Yeah,
Last Dance of Mr. X.
I'm lucky because I'm in LA, right? And when you were in LA back in the day, in the early 2000s, Andy used to play a lot of jazz trio shows at the Baked Potato Jazz Club. So that's when I first, came in. Oh, nice.
That's neat.
Awesome. And, Andy used to play a lot of jazz stuff with some friends of mine and in his band. So I used to be able to. Oh, is that a tour? What is that? A tour program too? Not a tour program.
No, it's a press kit.
Press kit. That's sweet.
And he signed the headshot for me.
That's sweet. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
You know what I do have? What is that? Which album is that? Mysterious Barricades?
Mysterious Barricades.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to show you now? That there's no way for me to prove. There's no way for me to prove this. What does it say on the press kit anywhere numerically? What the catalog number is for Andy's Mysterious Barricades album?
Says this was printed in June of '88.
Okay.
June of '88. private music.
Mm-hmm. I want to show you something here. Just if I can find it. I mean,
There's the headshot. And he signed it. He actually signed it for me.
of course he did. Yeah, no, it's pretty fascinating that you have this awesome, rapport with Andy and this relationship with Andy. That's check this out. If you're, it says Andy Summers 2039 A and B from 88, April 11th. And this on it, and I probably played it once to verify, even though I would, this says 2039 A and B side A and 2 and B. And it says Electro Sound Group Midwest. This is a test pressing, I think, of that Mysterious Barricades album.
But you've never heard it?
I mean, I must have when I got it, but I don't know. Strangely, I didn't even put any kind of post-it note or anything as to what it even is. But how about this? I'm gonna go on to Discogs right now and see if that's the actual catalog number for this. Like, what a friggin' nerd!
I'm just gonna start holding stuff up. Here's an awesome police book by Lynn Goldsmith.
So cool.
And then here's Andy's first book called Throb, which again he signed for me.
Of course he did.
Right there. Really, if you guys don't know, like a lot of these photos are like the photos that he would show on the screen of that show that we went to.
So look, there it is. If you go to Discogs, 2039 is the catalog number of Mysterious Barricades. And look what's written on the corner of this test pressing.
Cool.
So that's what that is.
Wow. Yeah, these books are great.
So, is that Sting's bass on the cover?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fretless Fender.
And Andy signed the book, or he signed the bass?
Yeah.
He signed the book, right? Yeah.
He signed the book. Here's a photo I took of him playing.
Lynn Goldsmith inspires Lisa. Yeah, she has great images of these guys.
Yeah, there she is right there.
Andy did a great job doing the music for Down and Out in Beverly Hills. Matt said, Matt's Tube of You says, I got an interesting item there.
Smash that thumbs up, you guys. Brian Davies, have a good night, man.
Here's he said Down and Out in Beverly Hills. I kind of mistook that reference as mistakenly. I mistakenly thought.
Wait, you have that one?
Weekend at Vernie's is like a promo disc that Andy's listed on in the paper sleeve, right down there.
Huh.
I found this at a Goodwill for $1. I mean, go figure, right? Who else is saying what in the chat? I'm kind of like peeling down the chat. Oh, thanks. Jay's a wealth of police info. Totally here for it. Okay, well, what else can I tell you? So, what else do you want to know?
Go for it, Jay. Go for it.
Yeah, no, I would love to talk more about. I mean, hey, this, like I said, these guys live rent free in my brain. Yeah, no, that to me is one of the best Andy solo albums, Charming Snakes. I love that record.
This was the cassette that totally got me into Andy's music. I found it, and I bought it, and then I went and saw him in concert, and then he signed it.
Oh, you told me about that. You told me that you mentioned to him.
This is the cassette.
In person, that you had been listening to that, and he liked that. Yeah, I remember.
Now, Andy's the one that got Johnny from Floyd Roses.
Now, I don't know. We were talking about this earlier. So there's a great new book that came out about Andy. Japanese book.
Show some of that. I got to refill my drink. Show some here. I'll spotlight you. Show some of that,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, no, awesome. So this is an incredible book. This came out from Shinko Music Entertainment Company Limited. It's called Andy Summers, Sound Designer of the Police. And this probably came out like literally like maybe a month ago. And, you know, I would not be able to read this, but for the miracle that is Google Translate, where you can actually point your phone at the text and read anything. And it's, you know, the great thing is that it's got some really, really excellent photos in it that I hadn't really necessarily seen before. It's got article reprints from Japan. It's got, you know, it's got some, you know, some transcriptions and all kinds of stuff. You know, it goes into, I really like this. It's got, here's a picture of him with Eric Burden when they were in Japan. It's got early pictures with the Zoot Money here, right here. So, and it's got even got some cool information about, you know, Circa Zero. Look at this. It's an awesome picture of Rob from Circa Zero. Great vocal. I mean, you know, I really love that era, and I wish that they took it further. I think everyone really does. But yeah, some great photos. Highly recommend grabbing this book because you can read it now. You can read it using Google Translate, and it's freaking awesome. Like I said, like a lot of, it's not, I don't think it's too expensive or anything. I mean, honestly, I got it as a gift from someone who was visiting Japan and brought it back for me. But it's really, really cool. Are they largely unpublished photos? I don't know if they would be largely unpublished photos, but there's definitely photos that I think would not have been seen but for the publication of that book. There's a good portion that I hadn't seen before, and neither had Dietmar. And if Dietmar hasn't seen them yet, then that means they're unpublished. Because
that guy's seen everything, man.
He's seen everything. Not only that, I mean, he has a mind that's like a trap. There's nothing that's, he can see a picture of those guys on a stage, like with a black background, and tell you what show it's from based on what they're wearing that day. I mean, the interesting thing about Dietmar, and Dietmar runs the policewiki.com,
yeah,
which is like the ultimate resource for what people want, what they were doing on a daily basis and stuff, and what the shows were, and what the set lists were, and the activities of the lads. He actually is by vocation, he's actually a cop. So it's like the ultimate, like, it's so awesome because he's like, wow, like by day you're a crime fighter, by night like you're a, you know, this you know, ravenous and he uses his investigative powers and his, you know, his faculties to hunt down details and remember things really well. And he's like, you know, it's fascinating. It's fascinating stuff.
Ron's internet apparently went out, so he's gone. So I don't know if we'll see him again. But I think he was talking too much. Anyway. Okay, just kidding.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know how much Ron. I mean, like, you know, like, is Ron one of your Van Halen, primarily Van Halen fans, pals?
Yeah, I get more. I think more so guitars.
Guitar pal, yeah. A police detective, in other words. Yes, Dietmar is. He's a police detective, and oh, nice. You got him to sign. Is that an Andy ticket or is it a police ticket or what is that?
That's an Andy ticket. Kimball's East, June '97.
Where?
That's
wow.
Emeryville, California.
Oh my gosh, that's. Here's a question for you.
Yes.
And would you be willing, if that is not already on the wiki, can you take a picture of that and send it to Dietmar?
It might be on the wiki already.
Okay.
Because I've been in contact with him for like 15 years.
By the way, just for everybody out there who's listening to this, thepolicewiki.com is interested in any original photos that you may have from any gigs, any ticket stubs, anything. If you go on by date and look at the show or shows that you attended and they don't yet have one picture of a ticket stub or one photo from the show, then you should send, as long as you own the photo and it was your photo and you have copyright to the photo, then he will put it. Oh my gosh. He will put it in the wiki. So I would, and you'll get credit on the bottom of the wiki for all time. So Lisa, it doesn't matter if the photos are high quality or not. If there's not one example of Andy in that particular performance environment, then he will include it, I guess, up until he has a better quality one. But if there's, and I don't even think he bothers to swap things out based on quality. Once he has you in there, you'll be in the wiki. And so you can go, for instance, to the wiki and search my name, and you can see all the contributions that I have made to it. And hey,
Yeah,
Edwin,
I think I'm in there too over the years.
thanks for that, Edwin. I could use all the blessings I could get. I don't know what you're specifically referring to, but
Edwin, what's up?
maybe
I'm
that's
just showing you guys. I'm
maybe
showing you
that's
guys just guitar picks that I have.
maybe Edwin's like saying that in the like bless your heart kind of way, like you're a moron, Jay, kind of thing. I don't know, but I hope that's genuine. And cheers to you. If they, oh my God, you got to share this Skyprop comment right now from 658. He said, if they start comparing, no, we're just talking about the police, you guys. Come on.
That'll be later.
So funny. Oh
Actually,
my
that'll be on my OnlyFans later on. We'll be comparing something else. That's why Ron left. I don't know if he could compete with
Oh
us.
my God, no, he's not a contender.
I'm kidding, you guys.
Oh my God, sorry.
Look
Ron.
at this stuff. I'm just finding all this stuff, man. I've got like guitar picks.
Wow, you seem to have a lot of those picks.
I got tons of them.
I think I might only have one. I think it might be a red one.
I got, and these are regular ones. These are like not even police ones. These are like
Yeah,
just
the
regular,
Diodario one. That's cool. That means those are
the
maybe
Dunlops.
like or Dunlops. Yeah, Dunlops. Did he ever do any? Does he ever play with a thin pick or only those thicker ones?
As far as I've seen, it's only been like these 2.0s.
Because those are chunky, man.
Oh yeah. What I did was when I learned that he was using those, I actually had them make me some. So I have got my own Dunlops, the same ones.
Yeah.
See, now we're getting really dorky.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a second also to explain to people what I'm looking for synchronicity wise. Because I want this to be a beacon to try to help me fill the gaps in my collection.
Oh, sure.
So number one,
whatever you're looking for, definitely. If anybody sees this,
I'm looking for a 7-inch Bolivian Synchronicity 4-track CD that uses the cover of the regular album. But I'm sorry, on 7-inch. I might have said CD. A Bolivian 7-inch that has 4 tracks that uses the same cover art as the regular issue of Synchronicity. I'm looking for a red vinyl Mexican version, dark red vinyl. I'm looking for any RIAA awards because the one that I have that's on my mantle here is a 3. It must be like a triple platinum or something, and it's platinum. But I need a gold one. I don't have a gold one. I don't have an in-house A&M Records Awards example where they give the awards to staff. I don't have the fake RIA award that they used as a promotional tool in record stores that has like, it doesn't have a hologram. It has like a gold plate with black imprint on it and says that it was given to Sting, even though Sting never touched it in his life. And I also don't have a United States test pressing with the A&M white sticker label on it. I only have a UK test pressing that has no labels, and it just has like vinyl, like black vinyl everywhere. So if anybody has any of that stuff, then I have a lot of stuff to trade. I have an extra Nautilus Zenyatta of test pressing from the audiophile series. I have the extra black and white copy of Synchronicity, and I've got a lot of other stuff too that I could trade if you have anything that I could use. So please let me know. There's Strontium 90 is amazing, and that was where we got the live version of 3 o'clock shit that I think is listed on there as 3 o'clock shot, because Be My Girl Sally was before the poem was actually called 3 o'clock Shit, and they played it on that live CD with different lyrics. The lyrics actually to 3 O'Clock Shit were the lyrics that were from Oh My God. That became the Oh My God song that's on Synchronicity. So there's a lot of jumbling up, repurposing of material for different songs. Oh My God was the Last Exit song that had a similar melody to what it has today, but he overlaid the lyrics of Oh My God onto the chord progression that became Be My Girl Sally, except that at that time it was called 3 O'Clock Shit. And then when they decided to make it Be My Girl Sally and add the poem in between the fragments of that tune, then it became something else. I'm not sure that Be My Girls, the 3 O'Clock Shit as a studio cut survived. I think that there are no bounce downs of that from the studio, as far as I know. But I'm soon to be making one using AI, using the vocal track, using the vocal track from the live version and the backing track from Be My Girl Sally. I'm going to make the closest approximation of what 3 O'Clock Shit would have sounded like as a studio cut as possible. Just like recently, I took the vocal track from one of the Clark Kent songs and put it over top the demo from the Clark Kent Deluxe to make a vocal demo, because he released it as an instrumental demo. And I posted that through Kenneth.
I got to hear that stuff, man. I haven't heard any of that.
You haven't heard my little fabricated vocal demo from the Clark Kent thing?
I don't know.
So Kenneth, this guy Kenneth, who lives somewhere in Europe, he has this AI program that can separate things. Like he just lets it run overnight kind of thing. And I asked him if he would make me the pieces, and then I did the work of cutting up the I guess you got to find his page, because it's just called Stuff. I don't think that he actually
Stuff.
Yeah, I don't
Speaking
think
of stuff, I'm going to show you guys more stuff.
Yeah, I want to see more stuff. You know what I want to see? I want to see something that I am going to totally be jonesing to trade or buy from you. I want you to show me something that I would never have known even existed, and that I'm going to be like obsessed about until the cows come home or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I want to see. I mean, your collection is impressive. Don't get me wrong, but I want to see. I want to see something that can like distract me from my daily life. That's what I want to see.
Let's see. What do I have? I've got the guitar. Did I show you my guitar?
I want to see your guitar, man. I mean, but there's no way you're parting with your guitar, and there's no way I would ask you.
Well, I told Andy I would never put it on eBay. I said if I put this on eBay, he can sue me. I told him that. So,
oh, that's so cool, man.
So anyway, this is a guitar I bought off eBay. Somebody built this as kind of like an Andy Summers style. It's a Mexican Fender guitar. I used to play this guitar live all the time, and then I went and I saw Andy like 3 days in a row at 3 different book readings. And at one of them, I said, "Hey, would you sign a guitar for me?" And he's like, "For you, I will." So the next day, I went and I saw him, and after the event was over, I pulled the guitar out and he signed it.
You know what's cool about that?
There's video of that.
It's cool that he actually signed the guitar and not just the pick guard.
Let me see. Here's the video right here.
Which
Check
video?
this out.
Of him signing the guitar?
Of him sign, yeah. October 21st, 2006. There we are right there.
Where do you want it? Yeah.
Oh, just, yeah, right there. That's cool. Cool. Could you just on the back of the headstock too? Because actually I do play this.
Yeah, don't go
If you see that on eBay, you can sue me.
How would he phrase it? This C knife.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So there you go. Oh yeah, and there was a book, I guess, right there too.
Awesome.
One Train Later. There you go. JohnnyBeane.com. Yeah, so this was a guitar that I played, and then he signed it for me, and I kind of stopped playing it. Although now I'm thinking about playing it again because it's been years, right? But
I'm trying to find, for the benefit of listeners here, I'm trying to find that YouTube channel that's just called Stuff, because it seems like it shows up with new remixes on my feed all the time. He's always separating tracks out and making these cool like remixes and stuff. And he published my fabrication of the Clark Kent demo on his page, but I can't seem to find out where. I can't seem to see where it is. You know what? I bet you I know what I did. I bet you I sent that to somebody as a link so I can look at my emails and see.
Matt's Tube of You, the Police at the US Festival. Have you seen that? That is or was out. Like there was video of that.
What are you talking about now?
The Police when they played the US Festival in '82.
Oh, okay. I'm not
that
really.
That does exist.
I'm not really.
I've seen it
in my mind right now.
I've seen it. Cheech got a signed Andy Summers biography. Right on. I've got a few of them. I actually won one on MySpace way back in the day. They sent me a signed one, and then so I have one that has his signature twice on it because I won it autographed, and then when I went and I saw him, I took it with me and he signed it again, personalized it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have only one item that's signed twice, and this would probably be a good candidate to show the viewership here.
Mm-hmm.
I was peeling down to see if I could find that Clark Kent thing, but I'll have to find it later. Let me show you something cool. So I was among the fan club attendees at the Disney Emperor's New Groove premiere at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. In what year was that? Maybe 2000 or something like that. Maybe 2000 or 2001 or something like that. And when I was in line, I only brought one item because I was. Sting walks down the red carpet. I'm going to ask him to sign something, right? Since I never met Sting before at that stage, I brought the rarest thing I could think of. So I brought his Newcastle Big Band album, and he signed it as Sting for me right here, as you can see.
Oh, wow.
In person. So that was the one thing, right? He signed.
Is he in the photo on that? Can you see him in that?
He's right here. That's him playing bass, only on bass. He's not singing anything. He's just on bass.
Oh, that's him right there.
That's mullet. He's got a mullet. My finger is going out the way because I'm like, he got a mullet. Look at him right there. He's got a freaking mullet. I'm trying to.
That is him.
That is him right there. See?
Oh, that's funny, man.
So he was walking down the red carpet with I think her name is Karen or Catherine Schenker. It was like Schenker, his publicist or something, and he was also walking down the red carpet with David. I think is Hartley, the composer, because they did the music together for Emperor's New Groove. And I had this out, and he signed it for me. But then he did another round, like he doubled back, and he came back. And when he came back, he started signing more stuff for people. But I only brought one thing, like a moron. I didn't know he was going to sign two things. So I flipped the record over. And I said, hey, dude. I didn't say dude. I said, hey, would you mind, since you are listed as Gordon Sumner on the back of the record,
wow.
Would you mind signing it for me as Gordon Sumner? So he did. He signed the record.
Leslie, thank you for subscribing.
The first thing he said is like, Gordon Sumner, who's that? That's what he said. But then he acquiesced and he signed it as Gordon Sumner. I don't know how many Gordon Sumner autographs there are out there, but this is one of them. I mean, I'm sure that there's Gordon Sumner signatures on like legal documents, but how many autographs?
Right. Like nobody's going to believe you. Like that's his signature because he wrote that, you know?
I have a video. I have a video.
I
have a video of him doing this. Someone else who was there in the fan club made a video and sent it to me afterward. And I have pictures of him from backstage at the Emperor's New Groove standing with me, but not holding up the record. And meanwhile, since we're talking about all the different copies, I showed you how many different copies of Frolkhaven I have.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh my gosh.
Anytime I found Newcastle Big Band LPs, I just got them. So the crappiest quality one that I have is the one that was signed. It was like, it had like tape on the spine and it's all effed up. Whereas some of the other ones that I have now are like perfect. perfect quality ones. Now, the interesting thing about this, the original one had this rubber stamped handmade label.
Mm-hmm.
It had a special issue, but then in much more limited quantity, trying to find the later one, the second issue was actually on the Woodwink Jazz label. So there's 2 varieties of the Newcastle Big Band LP. It's really, really hard to find this one. So
Wow, that's
Now you
amazing.
know.
Yeah.
now you know.
Oh
Now
my
you know.
gosh.
And speaking of the Woodwink label, if I have a place, like I said, last time you had me on here was because I was a guest as a musician. I don't know if you happen to have one of my records handy near you. I can go get it. But I put my own record out on
It's in
Woodwink.
I have it in the car because I that's the only place I have a CD player.
And I'm happy, by the way, I put my own album nominally in name only, in other words, on the Woodwink label, because I contacted David Wood. It's a play on words, David Wood, that's his name, the guy who owns Impulse Sound Studios where that was made. And I licensed the logo. He didn't actually, I wasn't on his label. I just said, hey, if I pay you money, can I put your logo on my record as a poser to pretend that I was on your label?
Yeah.
Because I wanted that my first record release to be on the same, to appear as though it was on the same label as one of my all-time heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I think we know who I'm talking about. So when you look at my record, you'll see it's on the Woodwink label, and it actually has a cover of 7 Days on it. And when we gave away 3 copies of my record, only 2 people sent their address in. The person who was like associated with some sort of store, they were logged in as a store name or something. They never sent an address. So if you felt like it, aside from that one pick, if someone wants a record on this program that has a Sting cover on it, then I would happily mail it to you if you want to give 2 things away.
Sure.
And the other thing, though, is if anyone just goes to Bandcamp, they can just put in $0 and buy my record for nothing and get the whole thing for free. Not that this is supposed to be a promo of my stuff, so apologies for that plug.
No, that's fine.
Cheech has a signed Andy Summers biography, which is cool as hell. It's always great. I love. Okay, here's one thing. I don't mean to but this is important. It's really important to get Sting's autograph in person, because when I spoke with Stewart at NAMM one year, and he autographed my Frolkhaven and my non-photos version of Synchronicity, he revealed to me, and I don't know if it's supposed to be a secret or not, that if you get an autograph from Sting's fan club, that Sting actually has someone on staff who signs his autographs, quote unquote, sometimes. So I don't know which, unless Sting's signed 2 things for me, and I've seen him put pen to paper. So I know they're real. And I know that even the ones that are signed by his staffer, I guess, would be considered real and authentic since they come from him as an authorized source. But if you actually want a Sting genuine autograph, it's important that you know that he actually signed it. Just saying. So I have Newcastle Big Band, and I have Synchronicity, and I have the flip side of Newcastle Big Band where he signed it as Gordon Sumner. And lots of Stewart autographs because he's at NAMM and lots of other shows around town in LA. Lots of Andy stuff because of the Baked Potato Jazz Club. And the Grammy Museum show that he did and other things where he's so gracious about signing stuff and is an awesome dude.
Speaking of signing things twice, I showed you that photo of John Taylor, Duran Duran, and he's like looking at me like, oh no, you're back. This photo right here.
Yeah.
Right? So you can see video on my channel here. So this would have been, what album is this? What year is this? 20? I don't even know. Oh, All You Need Is Now is the album.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've got John Taylor and Roger Taylor. They were both there. So they signed. Actually, I think they signed the inside first. They actually said to Johnny Beane. There we go.
Who's Roger Taylor?
The drummer.
Oh,
Duran Duran, the drummer.
That's as little as I know. Like, that's what I'm saying. I could never go up to them and say, "Hey, could you help me find that bootleg you made of the Police?"
Yeah.
Like,
well, no, that's the bass player. So anyway, so they signed that, and then I went back in the second time, and when they saw me a second time, they just signed the front. So I've got their signature twice on.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be like just as a side note, you mentioned in Duran Duran, the bassist and the drummer are related, and then like
No, they're not.
Oh, they're not.
No, they just all have the same name. Last name.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna say in Van Halen, of course, there's got to be some connection with someone who has biological like sense of rhythm or something. Oh, that's awesome.
That's a Van Halen Black and Blue. This was a gift from my aunt. Really nice Eddie Van Halen signature there. 1988.
I got both of us within minutes of each other got a Mark Anthony signature at NAMM because we both have a picture of ourselves.
Michael Anthony.
I'm sorry, Michael.
Anthony.
I'm sorry, Michael. At NAMM, we both got a picture of him within minutes of each other because we both have pictures of each other
standing there,
with the same clothes on, with him wearing the same shirt. So we were probably standing next to each other in line. That's.
Was it a card that he signed that year, or
no? No. He signed 1984 for me.
Oh, because I've got all kinds. Because I've met him a million times too, so I've got all kinds of stuff.
I only had him sign 1984. I think he signed a card, but I wasn't really even interested in the card, so I asked him to sign 1984. Also, that might have been a faux pas, but I think I might have even given away the card because I really just am interested in having records signed. Like I went to NAMM one year and I saw Duff McKagan, and man, that was the strangest. His autograph just looks like block letters to say Duff. You would never know that it was a friggin' autograph.
That's Hagar.
Oh, wow. That's like a lot of scribbling.
Well, that's just the album. That's just on the album. But I saw him actually at a Costco. Actually, the video was I play it all the time where I go up to him. Anyway, that's the signature.
So Matt's asking me something. Edwin says 7 days feels like The Ring. I don't know exactly what that means, if it's a commentary on my cover.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Matt's Tube of You says, Jay, are your albums on iTunes or is Bandcamp better? Well, they are on both. I think Bandcamp gives me more proceeds if you decide to pay anything for it. iTunes will charge whatever their fee is per tune. Bandcamp I've posted up as name your price. If you decide to just take it for free, then go for it. I mean, music is not my vocation. I want people to hear it. Of course, I would not object to you're tossing me a couple bucks, but it's not. I would just like you to hear it. So please go to Bandcamp, J. Matsueda. I didn't put my last name in here, but you can find it when you look at the link to the Synchronicity. Oh yeah, I was at the premiere of that Everwood Stairs. I met Stewart that day at the Egyptian Theater. That was the premiere.
I was at the premiere in San Jose.
Yo, you were?
And I met Stewart that day.
Okay, awesome. So you
and then later on, I had Andy sign it, or the other way around. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's awesome. I don't have his signature on anything. On that particular.
I just need a sting on here if you can help me out.
Right. No, right. No, that's
actually hard. I could just write Sting myself on here, huh?
Yeah. If he hires you to do it, you can, but you better practice first, and then it would be authorized. But not official. It's crazy, right? No, it's crazy. I mean, imagine how many people out there are asking him for his autograph, and he's trying to be accommodating. But I think it would be better if he wasn't.
Well, most of the time it's like a rubber stamp, or it's printed.
Well,
you'd write to fan clubs.
Well, these days they have machines sometimes watch and trace what somebody does with a Sharpie, and then they have machines for press kits and things take a Sharpie on it and
and it's the same thing.
It comes out the same way, but it's a facsimile. I mean, it's not, like I said, to me there's an experience of getting an autograph, and I like. And I have purchased autographs. I have Andy Summers autographs where it's SOMERS before he changed his name. But to make sure that it was authentic, I actually, when I met him, brought those and asked him if that was his actual autograph. And he said, yes, it was. So now I feel good. But otherwise, I want to get the autograph myself because it's a memory. It's like I remember the time I met this person and they signed this for me. And that's, to me, what's the endearing thing. Oh, I got that one somewhere.
$1.
Can't prove it because it'll take me a minute to find it. But yeah, this
is my favorite soundtrack ever.
Oh, well.
Rumblefish.
Well, if there's anything that you have in your collection that I want, like that welcome thing, maybe I should just talk to you about this off air, but I have something related to Rumblefish that you might want, and we might be able to do a trade. I don't want to admit to having.
What else? You got that one?
Oh, Oysterhead's great, man. I saw them from the front row at the Hollywood Palladium. I was like, on stage edge, and that was badass. I was also a Fish fan back in the day, pictures of Nectar and stuff like that. So it was also really enjoyable from that standpoint.
I did a recording one time at this engineer's house or something, and the guy worked on this album, the Oysterhead record. So he had photos with Stewart and stuff. And then I worked at this guitar store in Berkeley, California in the late 90s, early 2000s. And when this came out, one of the days, Les Claypool came into the shop because he's local to Bay Area. So he came in.
Oh,
and I remember saying to him, all I said to him, because I was the one running the front counter. Les Claypool comes walking in. I'm like, hey, great to meet you, but I'm a huge Stewart Copeland fan. I told him that. And he's like, well, so am I. And they were already doing this because I think it was after that I saw them at the Greek Theater in Berkeley, the live show.
Interesting story about that, how Les Claypool really...
Hey, Carlos.
He really pulled Stewart out of not hiding, but certainly not obscurity, but he basically goaded him into doing this. He was like, hey, you have a responsibility to the public to get out there and do cool shit. And this is one of those things that's cool, and you should do this with us. And I really give a lot of credit. I mean, that's the story that I heard to Les Claypool for getting Stewart out there to do that awesome experience. And what I understand is that from the experience of doing that kind of jam band style of music, that was what the follow-on project of something, for instance, like the Derangements, was the result of thinking of music in a kind of a jammy way, I think. And Lisa, thank you that you're going to listen to my record on Bandcamp. That's very awesome. I hope you like it. I mean, I've never claimed to be a vocalist, but I think that the underlying music is pretty solid. Anyway, let's see. Thanks, Jay. We'll go to Bank. Thank you. Yeah, Matt, you got it. Take it, or buy me a Coca-Cola. Just kidding. No pressure. Just take it. Matt loved what Stewart did with Stan Ridgway. Yes, absolutely. We talked about that. I'm really digging the comment area because there's a lot of rich comments in there. It looks like Ron is trying to get back in. He says, I'm trying to reconnect.
Ron, where are you?
He says, I'm trying.
Do you have this album?
I do have that. You know who designed the cover of that? It was the same guy that I know in LA who designed the cover of Synchronicity.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, his name is Norman Moore. He's a friend of Andy's too. Yeah, he's if you open up your Synchronicity album, they've stayed in touch over the years. He's done a lot of the design for Andy's stuff. He also did the Police Certifiable album cover design.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah, the silhouettes on the back. I mean, it looks a little bit kind of like iPod derivative, if in retrospect, but I think he was probably the first to do it because he's totally original. Norman's amazing. That's great. Yeah, is that the No Speak album? No, that's the Equalizers album. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's awesome too. Yeah, I think I've got that somewhere. So let me pull out a couple of things too. I mean, I'm gonna do a little show and tell here too, man. I mean, provided that you think some of these guys online would like to see it. So I showed you the Clark Kent test pressing. I talked to you about this one. So I have two pieces of memorabilia that are stuck in with this little sleeve that I'm going to. One says, Stewart signed this for me on March 16th, 2016, after his show at the Valley Performance Arts Center that this program came from. Chad Smith and Danny Carey were already also there, and they signed my ticket printout along with, well, I guess Stewart didn't also sign it. I just got Danny Carey and Chad Smith to sign just my ticket printout. But Stewart signed my version of this 45, and then Andy signed this during the Leica Camera Gallery opening of his photo show on August 7th, 2016, so both the same year, around 1 p.m. This is the Spanish pressing of Roxanne, where they did it. It was a typo, and they typed it as Hoxanne. The picture sleeve says Roxanne. Now on the back, they did it right. They say Roxanne in the details, cashewettes instead of peanuts, even though it's sung as peanuts. They're just translating it for their readers.
Oh, I see.
They didn't actually sing cashewettes. They just listed it as a translation of the name of the song. But yeah, it's I'm someday when as a sidebar, someday I hope to be able to hear the song Rosie Lee, which is a Stewart Copeland lyrics and melody version of Peanuts before Sting came in and changed the lyrics to Peanuts with a new melody.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, that was the B-side of Roxanne. In Spain, it was called Hoxanne. So I thought that would be a good one to have them sign for me because it's just a fucking goof, right?
Yeah.
So, right, this is something Andy signed. Andy signed this for me at the Grammy Museum when he was being honored with an award there. This is a test pressing of a Zoot Money 45 from Let's Run for Cover. It says released 25 March 66. So I mean. When they have that song Born in the 50s, I mean, Andy was born in the 40s, right? So like, he's kind of like he's been doing this a minute. And then we have like, I have like one of the very first things that was, harder to get initially was like, you've probably seen these Last Exit 45s.
No, I've never seen any of the last exit stuff ever.
The
No.
Last Exit only had
cool.
officially one 7-inch, and it was called Whispering Voices and Even Song. And I'm not going to claim that it's actually Even Song's legit. I like that song. I'm not claiming that Whispering Voices is anything special, but there were two varieties. One is the solid version that was not with a punch out hole for turntables that had the larger, and then one was the one where they actually cut out the in the vinyl they actually cut out the things like that, the punch out hole. The punch out hole one is a lot harder to come by than the solid one, but this is another one where I kind of like picked up as many as I could, so I have 3 solids and 2 punch outs. Which
Nice.
also,
I've never seen those. That's
happy
cool.
to trade if anyone has a Mexican red vinyl Synchronicity, a Bolivian 7-inch Synchronicity, an RIAA Gold Award, a US test pressing Synchronicity, or like there's some things that I just haven't come across yet. So just an extra plug for the ones that I'm looking for.
I have an empty Starbucks cup if that has any value.
Who knows? Maybe someday.
By the way, area code's 978. I just got your message, and that sounds good. So message me. Area code 978. I got your text.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
Here's something interesting. So this is not uncommon because I think most of these have errors. But the Invisible Sun 45, I don't know if they ever corrected this. But when you go onto the back, I'm lying. When you go onto the actual disc itself, you'll notice that instead of the B-side being Shambell they like dropped the B out of it. It just says Chamel.
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 I might have that one.
I bet you have it and you don't even know that you have the error because like I think the vast majority of them had the error.
No, I think when I got it, I think it had a sticker on it that said error. I think I've heard of that.
Well, then you would have it, wouldn't you? So yeah, Diamond D, I absolutely agree that Synchronicity is an amazing cover. And we were talking about this earlier. And we were also talking about how I have all of the cover variations, which are 38 commercially released ones, plus 2 that were only printed at the press check as printer's proofs. So if you do ever want to look at that checklist, the link to that PDF as a collector's checklist and reference sheet is in the chat above. And there's also 2 videos on YouTube that if you search for Synchronicity variations, you'll see something that's called Get Me Synchronicity and then Get Me Synchronicity Part 2. If you feel like it. And there's also a lot of foreign variations in there that are weird as well. Roxanne, yeah, don't have, I can't, no, you don't have to put on the red light. Yes. Who won't have who put on a headlight? Lisa wrote that. Roxanne.
Asked to be you. Thank you so much.
Oh
man.
my gosh, that's so funny. Totally. I'm so glad that Lisa is on here because she did have some comments on recent interchanges over some of the Facebook group stuff, and it was really cool. She says, Johnny, tell me more about the South Park Andy Summers guitar pick.
That's something I should have asked him about, which I guess at some point I can figure it out. But that's a guitar pick that I got. If you guys remember when they did the reunion tour in 07, 08, Andy's guitar had a guitar strap that had Kenny on it, the South Park character.
Oh,
wow. Like the guitar strap said that. And then apparently there were promo picks made. I have one of the picks.
You have one. Do you have it at arm's length that you can show everybody?
Yeah, I showed it earlier.
Oh, you did? I don't know.
It says Andy Summers, you bastard, on the back of it.
Oh, that one.
That was a South Park guitar pick. Yeah.
That might be the item that I'll talk to you later about something related to Rumblefish if you remind me, and we might have something we could do in the background. Anyways, I look at this, man. This could be the start of something special. Because look, Matt's tube of you says, just want to say before I pass out or go comatose, great show, Johnny. Jay and you talking police is awesome. So hey, like you said, this might be the beginning of like I just like that I spend so much time thinking about this stuff that I never really get to talk about it with hardly anybody because like who's going to talk about this with me? So it's
well, who's going to talk about 40 different Synchronicity albums?
Well, I mean, that's got like 8,000. That thing's got 8,000 fucking views, man. Like, give me some credit, brother. Not that it's enough to commercialize my channel. I mean, no one's subscribing to my channel. If you do decide to go to my YouTube and watch that, please, you guys just hit the subscribe just for the hell of it because I can't start to monetize unless I get 1,000. And not that I'm putting videos up all the time or anything, but it would really be nice to be able to monetize my channel.
I put up videos every day.
You do?
Sometimes twice. I did 2 shows yesterday.
That's awesome, man. That's friggin' awesome. So let me show you something also. I don't know if people are familiar with the production process for records, but that, a stamper stamps in, presses down on a vinyl and becomes a vinyl. But before they even deal with the stamper, the production of the stamper, they kind of do tests. They see if the mix and the mastering sounds good on the vinyl format. And they do these things, not just test pressings, which is tests of the pressed final product, but before that, they do what's called an acetate. An acetate is a metal core record that's very, very soft vinyl. It's, I think, normally produced with a lathe cut just to see what the song sounds like in the vinyl format. And it's not supposed to last beyond maybe 5 plays because it degrades. It's very, very soft vinyl. But this is from Copy Masters. This is 7 days backed with January Stars, which was one of the two versions of a B-side that had an alternative vocal melody. There was a song called Everybody Laughs But You in January Stars that had different lyrics and different vocal melody, but the same backing track that Sting created during the 10 Summoners era, which is amazing because we just don't hear people doing that. And this is an acetate. This is a very heavy object. It's a metal core object that has soft vinyl on the outsides that I've never played because I don't want to degrade it. I think if I played it, it would probably not really be able
I had a Van Halen of one of those at once.
This is it's an acetate. You can see from the reflections that most of the acetate on the edges is uncut. This is an acetate that was intended to test out what the sound would be for a 45. So the lathe only cut the song up to the material that would have made the 45, but it's within a 10-inch acetate format. So it's so.
Oh no! Is it okay? It sounded like you dropped it.
Who?
That's what it said. It sounded like you broke it.
Oh no! No. Believe me, I'm not. These items are very, these are very cherished items. January Star. Oh,
You
nice.
ever see one of these?
That's a bass pick.
Yeah. It has a fake Sting thing on the back.
It's fake. It's no. It's. I'm sure it's a reunion tour thing. It might not be his actual signature.
Well, no, I'm kidding. Chuck Butler, you're watching us, man? Chuck Butler, good to see you, man.
I'm going to show you something too.
I know this guy.
I'm going to show you something. But you've already seen it, or you could see it if you simply go onto my videos that talk about synchronicity online. Because I mentioned to you how I have those. So I have all the sleeves, right? I have all the sleeves that relate to the different synchronicity covers, designs. They'd made 38 different sleeves. Then they made 2 at the press check, and I was somehow able to self-realize and project into the universe that they belong with me, and they came to me. You can tell I live in Los Angeles, right? Anyway, so Australia had dedicated solid color vinyl synchronicity touring editions that were in yellow solid, red solid, and blue solid in 2 different colors of blue. So I'm going to show you a couple of those, but these are not incredibly rare. They probably sell for somewhere between 100 and something, 200 maybe. This is a yellow one. It says special limited edition color vinyl with 4 color pinup. Now, that's a very weird way of saying that there's a full color poster inside, because 4 color is a printer's term that refers to the CMYK process, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Most civilians, people who are not in the printing world, would never call something 4 color when it's full color. But the poster inside of the
4 color?
It says 4. So look, in these touring editions, it says special limited edition colored vinyl with 4 color pinup. But the actual, and here's another example, instead of solid yellow, it's light blue. But the interesting thing that I find is that the people who were producing these at Festival Records were so close to the production of a record that they weren't able to get out of their minds that to the average person, something that's produced with here's the red one, with 4 color process, which is CMYK on a printing press, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. See, here's the poster. The poster is full color, not 4 color. It's full color. But when you think 4 colors, you're like, okay, well, which 4 colors did they choose? Why did they only choose 4 colors? But that's not. That would be a moronic way of like marketing this, right? This is the New Zealand one. It's the only difference between the New Zealand and the Australian one is the sticker on the front. It's got the same matrix number on the vinyl and everything. This one happens to be kind of like some collectors somewhere called this Azure blue instead of light blue. So this is the Azure blue copy. So there's
wow.
And then someone also thought that maybe there was a variation on that where one of the blues, the Azures, is darker than the other. So you can like get as crazy as you want with this stuff. Now here's the thing though. Probably I'm going to say, and you could look this up on PopSync to see actually when I bought this on eBay, but I'm going to say that it was probably like 15 years ago, 12 years ago, in that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the middle of the night, and I have eBay alerts on my phone for like rare synchronicity things, right? Using choice keywords. In the middle of the night, like I wake up and I look at my phone and I see some crazy thing. Yeah, I see some crazy, stupid thing on eBay, and in the morning I'm like, thankfully I was just dreaming, because I don't really want to have to buy that because it's going to cost a lot of money, and I'm glad I was just hallucinating. Right, but then I opened up my eBay, and lo and behold, I wasn't hallucinating. There was actually this crazy version of the vinyl Synchronicity that was posted on eBay. Now, what happened, I found out as part of the overarching provenance and story of this one copy, was that someone at Festival Records in Australia, who was part of the production of those solid yellow, solid red, and solid blue, and solid azure blue vinyl copies,
Mm-hmm.
who worked at the record plant, the Festival record plant, that was producing those copies in Australia, on the sly, just for the fuck of it, for his own personal collection, just took all the pellets from those copies and just threw them all into the machine at once to make himself one copy that has all the colors in a splatter pattern. And he took it home, and he had it, and he enjoyed it, and it was in his collection. Yeah, it's like my precious, right? This guy had this freaking thing in his. This guy had this in his collection for years and years, and then sadly he passed away. And at that time, his widow sold it to a dealer. The dealer posted it on eBay, and I didn't even think it was real when I saw it on eBay, and I wish that I didn't have to buy it because it was a lot of money, and I'm embarrassed to say anything more about that. You can go onto popsych.com to go look up how much I paid for this. But this is a version that was created through the guy at the record plant just throwing all the pellets together at one time.
Are you saying there's only one of those?
I'm saying that there's only one of these in the world, and that's therefore when I'm also saying that there's only one copy of the 39th sleeve of Synchronicity and only 10 copies of the 40th copy of the sleeve of Synchronicity. There are aspects of my Synchronicity collection that are like museum grade because there's only one of them. And
oh my gosh.
Like,
have you ever listened to that?
I put it on just to verify that it was actually Synchronicity, and it does have the correct matrix number on the vinyl in the runoff, in the runout.
Mm-hmm.
So in the groove. So then if you'll look on
how much did you pay for that?
I don't talk about that, but you can go onto popsych.com and go look up that version, and you can just don't embarrass me. Like, we don't have to talk about that. But then here's the thing. I also found out that there was a Zenyatta Mondatta version that the same guy did with purple and blue pellets. But that one's out of reach for me because this person didn't have it, and it's not available for sale, and it never will be. But the same record dealer who did have the one that he sold to me as Synchronicity had a different record that was also released at the same time Zenyatta was released, that the guy did decide to press as purple and blue. So I decided, and he only sold it to me for like $30 because it was no big deal. He didn't give a shit what it was. This happens to be someone named Bonfa Burrows Brazil. It's something on Cherry Pie Records. It's not Zenyatta Mondatta, but it's the closest thing I'm ever going to have to also having the sister record of the splatter pattern because there's also a Zenyatta Mondatta, looks exactly like this. So if I ever put my two records next to each other in a frame and just have the Synchronicity one kind of swoop over the label just enough so you can only see this one edging behind the other one, then it'll kind of like approximate what having both of them would look like. But this one only cost me like $30, whereas the other one costs multiples of that, but we won't talk about that right now. But the thing is that I agree,
Cheech.
I put this up on YouTube and I tell people that I have it, and I as part of my Synchronicities Variations video part 1, people can go look at this. And why? It's not like anyone can, I mean, I'm knock on wood. It's not like anyone can steal it from me. You know why? Because there's only one of them. It's like you're gonna go steal the Mona Lisa. What are you gonna do with it? Everyone's gonna know like where you got it from. What are you gonna do with it? You know?
They'll probably listen to it.
No. What I'm saying is like if someone took it, you can't sell it. And are you gonna really get that much enjoyment out of something that you took from somebody else that you know is not yours, and you're always looking over your shoulder? Or whatever?
You'd get the actual police to go after them.
Right. I would get DMAR on. I'll get DMAR on their ass. Well, DMAR, who's actually a policeman. I was like, dude, I got your next case file.
You know what we need to do though is we need to get you to 200 YouTube subscribers. Okay,
I mean,
I'm looking at your channel right now.
Dude, I don't even think I have that. And you know, I actually do have
You have 198. I see.
I actually do think I actually have some good content that relates to the police on there. And you know, but I yeah, that would be really
subscribe. Give him a subscription, you guys. Let's get him to 200 subscribers.
That would be very kind. I mean, it's not the purpose of my being on here today. I just wanted to kind of hang out. But that would be really awesome if for some reason there was kind of like ancillary benefit. So if you guys did want to subscribe to my channel, I do post up police related stuff. I've got the 2 Synchronicity videos. I've got 1 guitar chord that was strummed by Andy Summers during the Circa Zero sound check at the Troubadour because I was there.
Really?
1 guitar chord. All it is him going. It's like 10 seconds, and it's like
oh my gosh,
stupidest post that I've ever made.
I can hear. Is that? Can I hear that?
If you go onto my YouTube channel right now and type Circa Zero, you'll see that it says for completist purposes only, or something.
199.
Like that.
We got you.
It says like for completist purposes only. It says like, you know, what guitar chord strum by Andy Summers, because I must have had like a really crappy phone or something. I didn't have. It wasn't like smartphones of today. I was there to shoot photos for the band. I shot 5 or 6 rolls of black and white film. One of the photos was actually used by the band as their like MySpace or whatever, their main photo. Like Andy, I don't know if you remember this, but the photo of Andy with his arms in the air like this.
At Troubadour?
Yes. He was looking down.
Maybe I've seen that.
His guitar was around his body and his arms were up in the air like this. And they used that as the thumbnail image related to Circa Zero after that. I gave Rob like 5 or 6 rolls of black and white shots. And you know, and if anybody,
I wish I could have gone to that show, man. I know where the Troubadour is because I actually stayed one time across the street from there. So I know exactly where the venue is.
Nice. Yeah, man. Like, you know, that was,
I would have loved to have gone to those shows.
I was, fortunately for me, I was not only at that, but I was also at the El Rey show.
Oh, dude.
I was at the front row. I was also pushing up against stage edge for that show too. But that was loud. That was super loud.
I would love to have been there.
You probably wouldn't be able to hear anything anymore. This is
we talked about tinnitus on Tuesday. We do a show on Tuesdays. We talk about tinnitus. I can't hear I can hear. But
oh,
which video is it? I don't even see it.
Is it Tinnitus Tuesday?
That's what it's turning into.
Let me see if I can show you like what my I can put that. There's absolutely zero.
Oh, I just search it.
There's zero reason for you to watch that video.
Andy Summers playing 1 chord at Circa Zero.
If you can you actually broadcast that for the listenership while we were watching this, or
I can play the audio of it. Let me see.
It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason for anybody to watch that. Just so you know.
Well, if it's Andy Summers, I'm going to watch it.
It's one chord from a distance, and you just hear him go. "Ding." That's it.
Andy Summers playing one chord at Circa Zero.
That's all I had. I also put some photos, some still photos of like the marquee from that day that I took on that.
Mm-hmm.
And just for people to listen to, for just to see for a second what it looked like on the scene.
20 seconds, totally useless. Why is it useless?
Because it says for absolute completists only. Andy Summers playing one chord.
If you're like me,
Oops, sorry.
Oh, the quality is really weird, but
and then feedback like crazy. And then feedback like crazy. That's why.
What's the feedback from?
I don't know. Oh my gosh. So, hey, anybody, I just sent you the link in private chat if you wanted to post it on the main thing for people, but there's no reason. It's like, there's no reason. I just did it as a goof because I thought, hey, nobody had any Circa Zero soundcheck material, but that's Circa Zero soundcheck. I was there.
Oh, awesome. There's Jay's channel in the chat. Subscribe to his channel. Let's get him over the two. We got you to 200. We did it.
That's so super cool. No, I'm very grateful, you guys. I'm very grateful. I do actually post police-related material sometimes, so I'm very grateful if you decide to subscribe to my channel. There's little bits and bobs here. I actually did like a video. I think I did some video of a Sting show in Vegas when I was there, and some other stuff. And you know, I used to be a music reviewer and photographer and interviewer. I have a phone interview of Joe Satriani from college that I put in there.
Very cool.
It's as of up to that point, it was unheard, and it's actually very interesting.
Very cool, man.
He's a very smart guy. I really think he's a badass.
Oh, he's awesome, and I think he's going to do a great job for the tribute tour they're doing for Van Halen. I mean, he's the man to do that, definitely.
Yeah, no, but I mean, he's a very smart guy. I enjoyed talking to him immensely. I was a bit of a green interviewer at the time, but he made me feel very comfortable. And he actually, at the time, he was talking about making his record called Crystal Planet. But then he, I think, released the next record after that as just his own name. And then after that, he made the next one, Crystal Planet. So I had like this peek into like what he was planning to name his record before the next one. You know, it's kind of interesting, like, because he talks about it. And if you look at the year against the releases,
that's pretty cool.
It's actually really pretty cool. Yeah. So I'm looking down at like to see what other things people had to ask.
Answer some questions. You guys ask him a question. I got to do a refill real quick. And then actually I need to tuck my chickens. And that's not code for anything. I have chickens. I have backyard chickens. I need to shut their flap to their coop.
Do they give you eggs and stuff?
They do, yeah.
That's amazing.
So I need to run out there and just shut their flap. They already went inside probably.
I'll show some records and I'll look at
Show some records. Show some police records.
Okay, ready?
This is when I was in prison that one time.
This is
all right. I'll be right back.
This is a recent acquisition. This is a Brimstone and Treacle test pressing. This has the Police and Sting solo stuff like the Police doing "I Burn for You" and "How Stupid Mr. Bates," and it has Sting doing "Spread a Little Happiness" and stuff like that. And if I open it up to show you the actual disc, and this is kind of like what the test pressings look like. Well, this one's kind of, well, there's not much to see here. It's just white. There's no printing on it, but it's when you look at the matrix numbers, then you'll know that it's the real thing. It's not like just someone messing around. And why would they anyway? It's not enough. There can't possibly be enough money in faking any of these things. Let me show you some other interesting ones. this isn't a record, but I think you guys would find this interesting as something that I kind of keep with among my stuff. This is a program from Newcastle City Hall on October 26th of 1976. And as you'll see, Andy Summers from the Police was touring with Mike Oldfield to perform Tubular Bells. The interesting thing about this is that the pit band for that particular night, as they toured around and utilized different local bands to play in the pit group, was Last Exit. And everybody knows that Sting was the bass player as Gordon Sumner in Last Exit. So this was an artifact that pertains to the first time they actually played together, even though they didn't actually meet each other at that time, apparently. Now, when I brought this to Andy Summers at a Baked Potato Jazz Club show here in Los Angeles, he literally asked me whether or not I wanted him to write on it when I asked him for an autograph. But he actually signed it on the back, and you can see his little bio in the Last Exit thing where Gordon Sumner is listed as the bass guitar. And I actually was able to show this program to Sting one time. Sting had this in his hands. It was at the Jimmy Kimmel Show in the green room. I had won tickets. And unfortunately, though, for me, in the green room of the Jimmy Kimmel Show, the policy is that you can't ask for autographs. So I showed this to Sting, hoping that he would just offer to autograph it, since he saw Andy Summers' autograph on the back page. But he didn't. He didn't offer to autograph it for me. Are you kidding me? So he stood there and looked through it, and then he gave it back to me, which is absolutely absurd. But such is life. So that's so Mike Oldfield will be in Lisa's top 10 guitarist list too. Awesome. Yeah, no, Jabal, it is nice. It's like crazy, right? It's and Thimker, thank you. Like this is one of my little prized possessions, and it was a joy. The item I'm proudest of, Lisa asks. So, I mean, that Synchronicity that looks like a pizza, I mean, that might be one of them. I mean, there are different things. There are different things that I like. If you go to Raphael's page, which is called followtheleaders.fr, he's French, you'll see that there's a Holy Grail section. Holy Grail section has all manner of super, super rare items. One of the items, and one of the more visually appealing items, is that for the Police used to do a lot of interesting things with prototypes with a company called Fitzgerald Hartley, seeing if there was anything cool that they could do with their releases. And Fitzgerald Hartley was also the company that used to make the RIAA awards, like the ones that I have up there. One of them's Synchronicity, and one of them's Dream of the Blue Turtles, and one of them's Soul Cages. They used to be the company that was hired by the record label to make the awards and to make interesting pressings. And you'll recall during Reggatta de Blanc that they did that 10-inch record double set, the two 10-inch records. Well, at that time, they were experimenting with prototypes. And they had this prototype that I think is fascinating, because when you think about the record production process and how they smush the vinyl together, and sometimes it comes out with a splatter pattern like the Synchronicity that I have, or picture discs that are clear vinyl that have inserts that are pictures and they squash them together. Like everything is pushing out, right? But with Reggatta de Blanc, they did a prototype that was very, very interesting, because there's a 10-inch. There's probably like somewhere between 25 and 100 of these. I always thought there was 100, but I don't really know how many there are. And I put it in a 10-inch frame. This is what I'd call a pattern regatta. Now, the interesting thing about this is it's not an extrusion. An extrusion, like extruded metal piece that's uniform the whole way through, that they cut into segments. It's not like it's not like buying some Pillsbury dough to bake some cookies and you slice it into pieces where it's like uniformly textured throughout. Well, I guess that's not a bad example. Cookie dough is not like that. That's got chocolate chips in different spots. But what I'm saying is I put this in a frame, so I can't show you the backside, but the backside has 4 shapes that are not the same shapes. So it's not just like they had like solid that they sliced and then pressed. I don't know how they made these, and that's what makes them so cool. And that's probably why they made them too expensive to turn into commercial viable releases that they went on to mass produce. So anyway, I hope you guys like that. How many, Lisa, how many Police Andy Stewart Sting items we estimate you have? Not working out how many Vans I need. I don't know. I don't actually, my collection is pretty small compared with some people. I don't have too many items. I just really have a very strong affinity for kind of rare items. So if you go on to followtheleaders.com.fr and you look at the rare section, you'll see everyone who's contributed their photographs of the fronts and backs of all these Reggatta shapes versions. And you'll find that there's quite a number of them out there, but they're all totally unique and they're very pleasing to look at from the standpoint of the way that the original artwork had that kind of like cutout star in the label. And it's kind of like a continuation of that kind of theme. It's very completely awesome. But my collection is pretty small. And there's certain types of things that I really like. And then I really like synchronicity. So, so when I first acquired the Synchronicity that doesn't have any photos on it, the gold, silver, bronze one, there's also, I sent the picture in and submitted it to followtheleaders.fr so you can see a picture of it there. Or also on my Synchronicity videos, you can see pictures of 2 of the copies that are the only 2 that are known to still exist. Then you will, when I got that, I said, okay, well, if there's only 10 approximate copies, then there can only be 10 complete collections. So in that, at that stage, I decided to go for the full collection because I said, I'm going to have one of 10 full collections. And then when I found that there's actually some singularly rare stuff, then I said, okay, well, I could actually possess the only full collection. And that's why I'm trying to get some of the stuff that I don't have yet, which is, again, the Mexican red vinyl version, which actually doesn't even go for more than a few $100, but it's really hard to find someone who's willing to sell. The 7-inch Bolivian version, the NRIA award that's gold, since I have a platinum one, and also a US test pressing. So we were talking about collection stuff. How long has your collection been forming? What's the item you've been chasing?
I just got here. I didn't even hear any of that. Sorry, I had to, one of my chickens, I've got a chicken that's like 8, 9 years old. She's getting really old and she wasn't all the way into the coop. She was like laying like halfway out of the flap. So I had to get a towel and pick her up and get her totally into the coop. That's where I was.
No, I showed them some cool stuff. I showed them my Reggatta shapes vinyl.
Oh, wow.
And I explained that this is not an extrusion. It has a different pattern on the other side. It's not like they just sliced it and it's like a mirror image on the back.
She's okay. She's fine.
Yeah, the chicken's okay.
The chicken's okay. Yeah, this chickens get really old and well, that's really old for a chicken. And they have a hard time walking around. Kind of like a dog. You get a dog that's really old and has a hard time getting around.
I know a guy who was thinking about selling his version of the Reggatta, by the way. He has one also. So if anyone out there is like jonesing for one, then, I mean, it's not going to be cheap. So make sure you're serious about it, but I might be able to put you in touch. I'm not selling any mine, but there's a guy out there who might be.
So what time is it?
I don't know.
For us, it's the same time. It's 8.
When did we get on the phone? 5?
It's been 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
It's almost been 3 hours. So let's cut it at least soon because I have to go eat dinner.
Yeah, me too. I haven't eaten.
Can you guys refresh your browsers? Can we get the video to 300 views live? We're at about 245 right now. Refresh your browsers.
Wow,
Plus,
Lisa, 4 a.m. over there. Oh my gosh. Well,
it's 4 a.m. where Lisa is.
Wow.
So
That's so cool of you to tune in for this. I mean, yeah, that's amazing. Where are you? Are you in England? Where are you?
I think she's in England. Yeah.
Yeah.
She won some. I did a giveaway recently, and she won.
Wait. Who won the Andy Summers pick, man?
Nobody yet. We're gonna do that.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna do that, and I'm thinking we'll do 2.
Ooh.
We'll do 2 Andy Summers picks. Okay. I just want to thank everybody for being here. What was I gonna say? Okay, so yeah, let's do this again. Let's do this again at some point. Whenever. I still have a ton of stuff I haven't showed.
Yeah, you only see the tip of the iceberg, and
I barely saw anything that you have. So
that's it. Every single thing is a story, and it takes.
I have a green blanket. All right. It's for my when I play Grand Theft Auto on Twitch. I have to put a green blanket behind me. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, Lisa's in the UK.
International followers.
Oh,
yeah, Peggy, like this was fun for me too. Like these 3 hours went by super fast, and you're right, we didn't really scratch the surface. There's like
no, we barely did anything.
We didn't really talk about much or show much. Like we did, but we didn't. Like there's like a lot.
We'll do this again. Did Laz send up my bottle opener? I don't think so. When Laz does a giveaway, it takes forever for him to mail anything out. So next time I go over there, I'll mail it for him.
I did mail out those 2 CDs we gave away of mine last time.
Okay, awesome. Okay. All right, let's do a couple giveaways real quick, you guys, and then I have to go eat. Let's do well, how many people are here right now? Let's do this. Start a poll. I'll give away 2 Andy Summers guitar picks. Okay. But which color should we give away first?
Oh my gosh. You had a blue one first, right? You have a blue one and a black one?
Yeah.
Nice. I think I just have a red one.
Which color first? Okay, so we're going to give these both away right now. Okay, but in the chat, in the chat, you guys can vote. All right.
So what do people have to do to sign up?
They just they have to put a number in the chat.
Why wouldn't Lisa be eligible? She's maybe she's not eligible. You'll ship it to her in the UK, right? At least like.
Well, technically, she just won something.
Oh, is that why?
Technically, she just won something. But Lisa, check your mail when you get your mail. Oh crap! What did I just do? I just did something. Okay, 8 votes out of 8. We got 30 people here. Vote now. Vote now. Which one should we give away first? Okay, and the way we do the giveaways is with it's a random number thing. So we're gonna roll, and I'm gonna make you guys work for this. Okay, pick a number. You guys got to pick a number. We'll do this twice. Pick a number. Well, you'll see it. It'll say on the screen. Here we go. In the chat, enter a number between 0 and 150. I know that's a lot of numbers, but you guys know how this works. And remember, if it's grayed out, that means it doesn't count. This is the engagement part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so far you're saying nobody even voted for black at all. So you either said give away the blue one or just keep them. And look, the black won. So well, for the first winner will be for the black one. Second winner will be for the blue one. Right? Is that what it said? No, blue. Yeah, it's the opposite. Okay, so we're giving away the blue one first. So in the chat. And remember, what Nightbot says is what counts. So unfortunately, if you put the number in but it's grayed out, that means you're putting in numbers too quickly. So whoever Nightbot picks, that's where it goes. So we'll do those. I'll get dinner. Where are you going for dinner?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably making something. I'm chilling out tonight. I don't really have anything going on. Like after we wrap, I'm chilling out. It's a quiet night in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Wait, today's Friday?
Yeah, can you believe it?
Friday. It's only 8:00, dude.
I know. It's 8:00 on a Friday night, and I don't really think I'm necessarily. I'm just gonna jam on some work and watch a movie, I think, and thumb through my collectibles like little guy in Lord of the Rings.
I've got this one movie I've been trying to watch for almost a week now. It's called High Society.
Oh, wait, what's that about?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet because I keep going to sleep.
Oh, you keep falling asleep when you try to watch it, or you just keep going to sleep before you?
Well, because what I do is I play Grand Theft Auto live on Twitch till midnight. So from 10 to midnight, I do that. And then at midnight, I go to try to watch the movie, but I end up going to bed.
Oh, I see.
It's Frank Sinatra, Grace Kelly,
Oh, okay.
Bing Crosby.
Okay. So it's an older one, yeah.
Like 1956, I think is when it came out. I keep trying to watch it. I tried watching it last night. I went to sleep.
Trying to pull anything out that someone might be interested in here, just as a closer.
All right, somebody got it.
Giving away these picks, right?
Somebody got it. Dakota, you got it. Dakota, you got it. Message me. And which one is it?
Nice.
The blue one? It's the blue one, right?
Well,
Wait,
depending on which, ask Dakota which one.
Or which one do you want?
Preferred
Dakota,
one.
Do you want the blue pick or the black pick?
And then the other one will go to the other person.
Yeah. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? Blue or black? And then message me. You'll take the blue one. Okay.
Of course, the blue one. No, and it's not like the black one's not desirable, by the way. It is very desirable. I want one of the black ones. I don't have one. I only have a red one.
Well, I can tell you on the latest tour, Andy was using the black ones. These actual ones he was using.
Did he use that exact one?
The police
Does it have
ones.
like scratches from his?
Well, it's in this little thing here, so I don't know. Maybe he did. I don't know. Dakota Barrett, blue Andy Summers guitar pick. All right, congratulations, man. Next. All right, between 0 and 150. Keep going, and this is for the black one. Andy Summers black guitar pick. This is now for the black one. Yeah. And this is also a podcast on Spotify. So just if anybody's listening to this far into this, we're doing a giveaway right now. So it's mostly on the screen. But actually, this is a video on podcast. This is a video on Spotify too. You can actually watch the video. Man.
Well,
yeah, you're gonna have to come back because I haven't seen most of what you have.
I know. We really didn't get into it too much, but I did show you a couple of things. I showed you that 45 of Andy, but I didn't show you the the full 12-inch that came from, where he again is a young whippersnapper down there in the blue shirt. Right? Funny
I've never
shit,
seen
right?
that. No,
It's funny
I've
shit.
never seen that. That's awesome.
This is yeah. There's two versions. There's the original, which is the mono copy, which is this one. Just says mono in the corner there, and then there's the stereo version that came after. Well, anyway, stereo version. But they're cool, man. These are like from like another time. Like, look at the way that this record looks on the back. I mean, this is not like, you know what I mean? These are like, they're like 60s records. They're like, when you get them, they have like the way that they're produced. They have like,
Oh, it explains what it is.
a gloss, they have glossy,
Yeah.
gloss front, like a laminate, but then it's got like a matte back. Like they sprayed it with some sort of whatever to make the paper gloss instead of just having glossy paper from the start or whatever. It's like, I don't know. It's very, very interesting what you like. I don't know. There's a couple of, Andy was in this band. They had Zoot Money live at Kluk's Clique, but there were like two versions of it, right? So this version and there's this version of it. I don't know. We can go into all this stuff, man. This is like, there's too much. It's too much.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's too much. But anyway, yeah, let's do another one in like in February or something.
Sure. Are you going to NAMM?
I'm not sure yet. I was thinking I would want to go on the Sunday when I looked at my schedule, but if I only want to go one day, I was hoping that someone would be able to give me a pass, and I just haven't been able to finagle that yet. So we'll see. We'll see. But doesn't most of the autographs actually happen on the first, like during the weekday?
The signings? No, they're mostly on Saturday.
Are they really on the Saturday?
Oh yeah, Saturday is the big day. Yeah.
Okay. I thought they tried to like suppress that by only doing that like on a Friday when people can't get off work, so they don't get the civilians coming in.
No. I mean, now it's all civilians.
Really?
I mean, a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean
they let me in.
It always was, but people had to pretend, right? Like, can't tell you how many times I went in on someone else's pass with somebody else's name or whatever.
Oh yeah, you can't do that now. They check your ID.
No, they do. Back in my day, I used to be able to sneak in them. Back in my day, I used to be able to sneak into the concerts after NAMM. That's another story where I got to see Stewart Copeland play with Living Color at the House of Blues in Anaheim when they were sold out, and I would have happily bought a ticket, but I actually managed to sneak in to see that show. Anyway, but I plead the fifth on that or whatever. But yeah, that was just a joke. I didn't really sneak in.
Yeah, he's just kidding. He's just joking. He's just joking.
I didn't.
Jeff T, you won. Jeff T, you're the winner. You win is it the black Andy Summers pick? So message me, both of you guys, you and Dakota, you have to message me. Okay. 415-952-3263.
If you don't message with an address, then it forfeits to me. So you better do it, or else I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to message.
Yeah.
You have
So
to
all right,
message
cool.
me.
Well, maybe like in a month or something, or month and a half or something, but totally cool to be on. And one of my favorite topics. So
Oh, this was great. I mean, this is just awesomeness. So, Jay, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and thank you for subscribing. You guys, thank you. We got you to 200 subscribers.
Or should I say thank you? This would be an inside joke. This is a police-related joke. It's a Sting-related joke. Sting, at some weird point in Sting's life, he
used to clap like that. Yeah.
But
on the Synchronicity concert, he claps like that.
What is this webbed hand clap thing? Right? I was like, what the heck is that? Like, I just thought maybe you'd get a chuckle out of that. Anyway.
I don't know. But thank you, channel members. Thank you for your continued support for this channel and these shows. Don't forget tomorrow night, Saturday night, and we're giving away a microphone. Thank you again to Ron Gunner, who vanished tonight. Hopefully he shows up tomorrow. We'll give the microphone away.
Yeah, man. The first time in history, his connection dropped, and it was when we were talking about the Police instead of Van Halen. Coincidence? I don't know. But anyway, man, yeah, it's been a pleasure. Everybody, especially those overseas, Lisa, have a good night. And
thank you so much.
Talk to you guys on Facebook. So
thank you for staying awake. We will see you guys. I don't know what happened to Ron. I think his internet crashed. I think that's what he said. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you again. Thank you, Jay. Everybody. Here, what do I have? We'll play.
Do the TV thing again, man. Some people might have missed it. It's so funny. If you want.
I'll do a couple things because I have a couple things here. All right. Well, see you tomorrow. Johnny Beane. Bye-bye. Really quickly, let me just. Can I get your word on this?
Oh yeah.
The Walking on the Moon flanger. What's the story behind this?
Well, I know what they call. What do they call it? A flanger? I thought.
Yeah,
it chorus.
It says flanger.
Was it a flanger? I would have called it a chorus pedal. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I've got one. That's done with Electro Harmonics, who are based out of New York. Mike Matthews, I think the guy is. I knew him. I met him in New York to do this little thing, but I think it came out good because I worked on it with them. They were just going to make a straight silver top black pedal. You wouldn't know it could have been anybody's, but I got them to call it the Walking on the Moon pedal, put my name up, blah, blah, blah. So we did a little bit of work on it. And there's a nice video that I finally did for them. But I always like Mike Matthews because he's always sort of pushed the edge with electronics, and I've used his stuff over the years. Yeah, and he's a great guy, a really nice man. And he came. We had a nice breakfast in a posh hotel in New York and discussed the bed. That's the way it was. Yeah. So I hope he's done well with it. Don't know.
Wow. Well, very good, man. Well, hey.
I'll see you in Monterey.
So really quickly, let me just. Can I get your word on this?
Thank you, first of all, very much for joining us. But now we've got Johnny. Hello, Johnny.
Hi, how are you?
Is that Johnny Beane?
Yes.
Hey, man, how are you?
Hey, good to see you, man. Been a while.
Are you still living in San Francisco?
Yep.
You guys know each other? You guys hang out?
I bet it. Yeah, it's funny.
What's your question?
All right, I'll see you guys later. That's the photo from Monterey.
Yeah,
when I saw him, we took a selfie.
That's so funny.
All right, rock on, dudes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Very cool, man.